Come on, bruv.
There it is.
All right. Okay. I'm about to say, yo, not again. Not again.
That's
Goodness.
hilarious.
Oh, God.
That shit is crazy. Well, see, that's what I mean by you got to be here for shit to change.
Well, sure.
You know what I'm saying? You got to be here. Like, we showed up again for another week.
Yeah.
And look, the shit worked this time.
It was wild last week. Like, what you mean it's too busy? What is that? Huh?
I have never.
This is your entire job. Y'all got one job.
You got one job.
What up, Jonathan? What up, Biddy?
What up, Jonathan? Biddy? You got one job, B.
And it's to allow us to. It's in the name. Stream. Allow us to stream. The fuck you mean it ain't working?
It's a lot. It's too many people.
No, the biggest thing, my biggest issue with it wasn't necessarily that we couldn't get on. It was that when I went to their Twitter account, there was nothing about it.
Oh yeah.
So what do you like? Y'all not updating nobody? Y'all not keeping in touch with your user base?
Yeah, they bugging. They bugging.
I give y'all money every month,
right?
So I should be informed when I'm not going to be able to utilize the product that I pay for.
Yo, ChatGPT send notifications if you ask.
Facts.
You just say, hey, I need to know when some shit is out. Let me know what's going on, what y'all doing to try to fix it. Never.
Right.
Like, y'all can't
do the same. Even if they didn't send them out, you could go to their Twitter.
You can at least go to their Twitter and see, and it's right there. Like, you not
something
posting.
Wrong.
Y'all not posting. That's wild.
That's super crazy. Like,
people, bad business is a thing. Some bad business is through no fault of the business owner. There are circumstances, whatever.
Yeah,
but some shit. This is things that you directly have control over, and you made a choice not to control it.
Yep.
And when you do that one too many times, people start fucking with you. But here's a way that they solve that though. Just go sit there trying to cancel me. They're trying to cancel me. I did shitty business. I didn't look out for their best interest in this relationship that we have, which is consumer provider.
Right.
And when they exercise their right to not fuck with me anymore, I can yell they're trying to cancel me. And then all the sympathetic rubes who all say and do fucked up shit and all of that other shit all day long feel like by defending that, they defend themselves. So the fuck, yo, I saw this week somebody say some shit about they were definitely don't feel ashamed to block and all that. And I was like, I couldn't agree more. Like, fuck are these niggas talking about with this? Oh, you lose points when you do that because
I have long ago disabused myself of the notion that there is anything wrong with me blocking motherfuckers to protect my peace.
Out of here.
I will protect my peace at all costs. I will protect my peace. I will protect my not being annoyed.
Yes.
I will protect my
your energy. Because the energy go into like
bro.
I'm not doing that with your goofy
I'm not doing that shit. If I see some shit like on Twitter, because of how the one thing that I feel still works for me personally is the algorithm. So I don't be on my followers feed. I be on my For You feed.
Right.
And nigga, I see anybody on there talking some shit that I don't block.
Ain't nobody interacting with you.
And then you see people that's on the other side talking about, oh, ha, 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 this person blocked me and I never interact with them in life. They oppressed. No, nigga, I saw you say some dumb shit and I don't want to see that shit again.
Yeah. Because
it's just that simple.
It's not a bug. It's a feature with you. Obviously, I don't want to see this. I'm curating my timeline for
nigga.
It's the
somehow you ended up on my timeline,
and you shouldn't have.
So I'm correcting that.
It's the same with YouTube. Something I think my daughter said this a while ago. The true love is logging out of your loved one's YouTube and logging into yours before you start searching for the shit you want.
Nigga, I am so listen. That is a thing that I never considered before that we absolutely enforce in this house. 1000%.
No love.
When on that TV in the living room, that YouTube is the one that is most used with the two of us, and absolutely every time something is switch that profile.
I mean, my daughter do the same thing. We use the television out here in the second living room area in the house. Mm-hmm. She watches YouTube on that. I watch YouTube on that. Mm-hmm. But when I go up there to watch YouTube, I switch over to my channel. When she does, she switches over to her account because I don't want to screw up her algorithm.
Right.
She got the shit that she like that pops up when they got something new. She easy for her to find it, and I don't want her screwing mine up with some over yelling ass anime shit or whatever the hell is. She watching this shit. Although some of the stuff she watch, I end up watching never because like, oh, that's interesting, and then I wound up watching on my account too, right? But no, nigga, no. Mm-mm.
Yeah, nah.
Look out for your loved ones, man, and don't stop fucking their algorithms up.
Yo, it's funny. Even they got me saying the word babies. They ain't fucking babies. They big ass teenagers, but I'm still gonna say the word babies. even when the babies come over.
Yeah,
like Chrissy's goddaughter. Whenever she go on YouTube to watch stuff, she logs out of my profile and logs into Chrissy's profile.
Yeah. You got to train them while they're young.
Thanks.
While they're young. Look, listen, ain't nobody got time. Right? Listen, it's the same with Netflix too. We all got our different Netflix accounts and shit. And
we had a conversation about that too.
It's the same shit.
We was in the room and Chrissy wanted to watch something that I had absolutely zero interest in. No, that's facts, Chrissy. She do need her own profile at this point. She was about to watch something on Netflix that I had no interest. I said, "You're not putting that shit on my profile. Yeah, use this other profile because it's not, nigga."
Yo,
I don't want to be inundated with this type of stuff.
Listen, when I go on to my account on Netflix, you know what the fuck you see? The first shit you see, that line of stuff that you see, is a bunch of superhero shit.
Yeah,
it's a bunch of or superhero adjacent shit. Some geek culture, whatever type of IP. You might see some supernatural is up there, shit like that. That's in that lane. What you don't see is the Care Bears come home for Christmas or some shit. You don't see none of that. You don't see none of that.
Not the Care Bears come home for Christmas.
You don't see shit like that. Or no Tyler Perry shit. You don't see no shit like that. I don't mind.
Ooh.
Nah, B. I'm not with it. I'm not with it. We was talking about Disney Plus the other day. And I certainly understand Kevin Feige's desire to change the way they delivered content. I'm sure there are other business concerns too, other than just any feedback from the fan base. There's probably other business concerns. It probably was expensive as fuck doing that many series that close together. Probably cost a bunch of money. However, you do see the difference. Like they're spreading the content out a lot more, and there's sometimes a desert if something that you're interested in doesn't have a particular IP that's being out there. Now, I happen to like some of the Star Wars stuff. This new Star Wars thing, I'm rocking with it, right? I got the little young sister in there doing the little thing and shit, and I rock with that. But let's say it was a series that I didn't fuck with that came out of there. and they was dropping every week. There's nothing new on Disney Plus,
right.
Until that series does what it do, or they maybe add something from their large catalog of shit that I ain't seen in 100 years or whatever, and then I may go and watch that. But as I was reminding her, I said something that you said. I said, James said, when this shit first started, when Disney Plus first started, that it's basically a vault for nostalgia shit. Like, if you are a Disney file, this is where you go at that contains all of the shit that you have basically submerged and saturated yourself with and became a fan of this whole time. You can find it right there, and that's the value of it for some people. Now, I never really was a Disney file until they bought Marvel and shit.
Right.
And then Star Wars. But these were things I was into before they had anything to do with that.
Exactly.
But I'm not gonna lie, it's other things they've done that I wound up liking too. Like the Percy Jackson shit. Right. I like the original Percy Jackson movies as well. These new ones were good too. They went with slightly younger kids, I think, with this one. But I still think it was good. I might go back in there and watch some animated shit over again. Some of the old animated series.
Yo, you know one thing that I didn't contemplate when I made that statement?
What's that?
That I think has become a thing. And I personally hate it, and I think it's phony because I can't relate to it.
Right.
But if I'm looking at it objectively, I understand why some people feel this way. Disney Plus has ruined the idea of the Disney Vault. The whole thing of the Disney Vault was that these movies only come out a certain time of year, and then they go back in the vault.
Right.
And you can't watch them.
Right.
That kind of ruined that for some people, and some people only liked that because of the exclusivity. The fact that they couldn't get it all the time is why some people liked it. So that's kind of crazy.
That's a thing though, because honestly, theoretically, I can watch the Charlie Brown Christmas any time of the year I want. But I don't.
Right.
Because it don't have the same context until it's around Christmas time.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I do kind of understand them from that standpoint. Like, Disney making that exclusive for certain times of year makes that time of year special to them. So when that time, it's something they have to look forward to. So when that time of year comes around, oh shit, they're going to be playing this shit. Right. But when I think about it, me personally, what I prioritize? I prioritize full unfettered access. I do prioritize that, even if I make the choice, I'm not fucking with that until a certain time of year when it's in the. I like the idea of having the option. So while I do understand their point of view and I see why it sucked for them, right? For me, it's like for instance, on one of my hard drives now, I have all the Christmas shows. That I always watch right at that time of year. It's a whole catalog, and I keep adding to them because it's always some new shit. But I don't watch them.
Right.
I have them right there on my hard drive. I don't watch them until the time is right. And then even then, I will wait to see if it comes on TV first. And if I can, like that, to me, my vault is for the extreme case where damn I missed it. I missed it when they aired on TV. All right, well, I gotta get my shot off. So damn. Like and some of them are just I might dig the entire series, but it's just that episode. Like, I don't have all of the Flash episodes on my hard drive somewhere. I don't. But I have the Christmas ones on there. Because I added them to the list.
Right.
Especially that first season. I like the first season Christmas shit on there. Speaking of that, my daughter's ass. So she's been watching a bunch of the old 80s action flicks. So I think it has something to do with what is that, Siobhan? Siobhan's got her headphones on. Why are you watching all of the old 80s action flicks?
Because the D&D show I watched is having a whole campaign based on 80s action.
Because a D&D show she's watching is having a whole, is it a series?
Yes, Dimension.
They're having a whole series on old 80s action, whatever.
That's kind
a lot
of
that shit. Yes. Look. Again, a lot of these movies are movies she may never seen before, or she may have seen, or whatever. So he was watching Lethal Weapon, the first two.
Oh goodness!
And the argument now listen, me personally, I think it's debatable, very much debatable. So I don't count it in there as a Christmas movie, right? But my daughter sat there and counted every Christmas reference.
Right.
Every time there was a Christmas.
No, you know what needs to happen? Someone needs to come up with a criteria of what makes a Christmas movie. Great. Because one of the classic all-time arguments, Die Hard. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie? And it's like,
I say yes. We watched that again too. And we counted the Christmas references, but more importantly than the Christmas references, the whole reason this nigga got jammed up in this shit in the first place is because it was the Christmas holiday season. Right. And he went out there to see his estranged wife.
Yes.
And kids. You know what I'm
yes, sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I get it, but are we being too fast and loose with what we call a Christmas movie when you say that? Because yes, you're technically right, but you traditionally what a Christmas movie is not just references to Christmas and not just the date being in late December.
Right. Right. But the reason I put that firmly in there is because of the motivation. For instance, Chevy Chase has the vacation Christmas thing.
Mm-hmm.
Christmas is the whole motivation why they went on this vacation thing. You know what I'm saying? Not because he was tired from work. Not because he lost his job and needed a new slice of life and he was going to go. No, it's Christmas time, nigga. We want to drink some eggnog and we're going to get in this car and we're going to do what we're going to do.
Right? All right, but I would argue, right? Mm-hmm. I would argue that there are traditional movies that everybody considers Christmas movies where everything in Christmas really isn't the main motivation for the story.
I agree.
It happens to be Christmas.
Still counted in.
I will argue this down for anybody. Home Alone is a Christmas movie because it happens during Christmas. The motivation has nothing to do with Christmas. No. They could have went on a trip at any point in time. They rich as fuck. The motivation was they went on a trip and they forgot Kevin.
They will camp out in front of your house protesting. You saying that Home Alone is not a Christmas movie. There is a bunch of people.
That's not the point I'm making. I'm not saying it's not a Christmas movie. I'm saying that it is traditionally and widely accepted, almost universally accepted as a Christmas movie.
Yes,
marketed as a Christmas movie.
It is,
but Christmas has nothing to do with the main motivation of the movie. That could have been on July 4th.
That's facts.
And the movie still would have been the movie.
What about Miracle on what is that?
On 34th Street?
34th Street, whatever that is. Is that a Christmas movie?
I would have to say, yeah.
So why?
I think because. So one thing, I think that one thing that's missing from Home Alone that has is your traditional Christmas miracle.
Right. So here's the thing, right? I agree with you. I think Miracle is a Christmas movie. I think it is. However, I could make an argument that it's not so much about Christmas as it is about mental health.
Sure, absolutely.
Capitalism, taking these traditional holidays of any kind and turning it into something that it wasn't originally supposed to be, and making it focus on the very values that are at the antithesis of what the holiday is about. And
you can do that for Christmas Carol.
Yes.
Christmas Carol didn't have to be Christmas.
No,
it didn't.
They could have put any other holiday up in that motherfucker, and I think it would have still worked the same way. But it's a Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie.
It's clearly a Christmas movie, but you can make these arguments. What up, Curtis? That's the reason why I think these arguments will always go round and round until there's an actual criteria,
right,
for what makes it. Is
hold up? Why are you on this account? Why are you on the Curtis account?
Curtis.
Yes, I feel like a criteria should actually be made.
It needs to be
to determine what is a Christmas movie, what is.
It needs to be agreed on.
That's never going to happen.
See, and this is the part that. So on our show, what we've done over the years, right? We had a GOAT metric, not just for rap, but for movies.
Also producers in movies,
all of that. Now, we don't expect the world to universally adopt
of course
our metrics. But what we will say is you should. The reason why we said that,
we put thought into that shit.
Actual thought into it, and try to account for all the intangibles as well as the tangibles. Which when I see people create their little GOAT stuff, they don't account for nothing other than I like this guy better than this guy, or I feel this guy's impact was bigger than, and we even account for the feeling. Yeah, we account for that too. So
see, that's another thing, Sean. Hawkeye happened during Christmas time, as did what the fuck, No Way Home.
No Way Home. Yo, and here's the thing. What was Hawkeye trying to do? What was his main? He was trying to
get back to his family.
For what? For Christmas. For Christmas. For Christmas. You know what I'm saying? So look, I'm just saying. That's one of the things that I add into my.
Okay, hold on. Wait. I can now make the argument, right? That if it being Christmas is a part of the direct motivation of the movie, then it is not a Christmas movie.
Oh shit! Because you're talking about the girl Hawkeye. You're not talking about. She was the main.
No, just in general, because we just talked about movies that everybody agrees, nobody argues about are Christmas movies. And we talked about how the main motivation of the movies have nothing to do with Christmas.
Right.
But the ones that we are questioning and we might be submitting, Hawkeye, Die Hard, these have direct motivations of Christmas.
They do.
The other ones don't.
So this is the reason why I need listen, but it'll never be universally agreed upon.
No, there's no way. Yeah,
there's no way. But I'm just saying, this is my personal metric of it. It has to the show has to make me feel a way.
Sure,
and this is completely subjective, but it has to make me feel a way. Like if watching this around this time puts me in that, hey, it's like Christmas. This is Christmas shit, right? That's what you feel that way. Now, I could analyze it out and try to put some hard data points on it. Right. I could do that, but it's not as fun.
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? Like it takes the fun away from it for me and the stuff that I'm gonna watch the Justice League episode where Martian Manhunter went to Clark's farm, his parents' farm for Christmas. They got him a sweater and all this other shit. Fucking Green, that same episode, Green Lantern and Hawk Girl, they went to some planet shit where they threw snowballs at each other. And then they went to a bar, got into a bar fight. Flash was trying to find this duck that was the I guess the toy for that season that all the kids wanted. They ran out in the American stores. He ran to Japan,
right?
Got one in Japan. The last one, he ran back. And then it wasn't Gorilla Grodd, it was the Ultra Humanite broke it. right? And then he wound up fixing it for Flash, except it didn't do the stuff that it was doing before, like act like a little bullshit rapper. It was telling Christmas stories or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
This is a Christmas cartoon, as far as I'm concerned. So I watched that.
All right, so I guess from that I can say the movie has to have a decent amount of people doing Christmas shit. I think that can wrap it up because
a decent
nobody doing Christmas shit.
It's hard for you to make the case.
Come on, my guy.
It's hard to make the case. They ain't doing
nobody doing Christmas shit.
No, if the only reason you know what happened around Christmas time is because the main character walked past a store and it had a sign of Christmas.
No, there happened to be one Christmas tree.
One Christmas tree in the whole movie.
Throughout the whole thing. Yeah, like, come on, bro.
You can't.
People in it have to be doing Christmas shit.
Yeah, shopping.
To be a Christmas movie.
You know, drinking eggnog. You know
right.
Under mistletoe or some dumbass
talking
shit.
About Santa.
Talking about Santa. Yes. Gift giving. Talking about, it's got to have those. If they're not doing, and you said a decent amount. A decent amount had to be doing Christmassy things.
Right. It ain't got to be everybody. Everybody don't celebrate Christmas.
Facts.
But a decent amount of the people that appear on screen during the runtime.
Yes.
Has to be doing some Christmas type shit.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's how I feel.
I think that's a great way to keep it where you don't ruin the fun for other people. Mm-hmm. If it puts you in the mood, go watch that shit. Go watch it. But for us, it's gotta be doing some shit in there.
Yeah, it gotta have something in it to be putting you in that mood. It can't just be you happen to watch this shit. Right. On Christmas.
It can't just be that, bro. It can't.
Like, because you watch Pulp Fiction on December 25th every year, you think it's
matter. The surroundings matter. What people are doing on the screen, be it the mains or the supportings
or
background. They got to be doing some shit. Like it reminds me of, and I hate these the most, even though I know they may have value because of the information you get.
Yeah.
But I hate travel channels when they do live streams from their living room. Nigga, I don't want to see your motherfucking
That's the exact opposite of the reason that I follow you.
Yeah. I hate, bro. It's been times you have one of your favorite travel YouTubers. Oh, they got a new video. I see a notification for a new video, and you click on that shit, and that motherfucker sitting in his living room or his basement.
Right.
It was backyard. I'm like, you're supposed to be on the Riviera or some shit. I want to see that. I don't want to see you sitting there telling me about your trip. Where's the B-roll, bitch? Like, come on. Like, what are we doing? Like, what do we really do? I hate that. I hate it. And I found that hatred has flipped over to the expat stuff too, because I know this one channel that is very helpful a lot of the times with most of their content, but then she turns around and does these 2-hour live streams of her sitting in a windowless. Nah,
B. Nah. I'm had to skip this one.
It's informative. Maybe I'll buy the book. But
right.
Not watching. No.
It's not what I'm here for.
It's not what I'm here for. It's just not. Like, I want to see some shit, especially during the wintertime. It's cold as fuck outside, and I don't want to be out there. So me watching this
shit. So you mean when the weather outside is frightful?
When the weather outside is frightful.
Oh, okay.
Even though inside is so delightful. I really ain't got no place to go. But fuck snow. I got time for that. Yo, I saw motherfuckers this week.
Oh no, don't listen.
Passing around this thing about all of you people that summer's better than winter to go out there and enjoy your hellscape. I was
gladly.
I went out in my backyard, sat out there, watched some YouTube videos, contemplated cutting the grass, and then put that out of my mind because
right.
I went to the morning to do that shit, early in the morning to do that shit. I 100% enjoyed my hellscape. 100%. You know what else I enjoyed? All the greenery. Me being able to walk unobstructed, not slipping and sliding, and not having the task or chore sitting in front of me of shoveling some motherfucking stuff.
Nigga, yo, it's the simple things, bro. Like being able to leave out of the house for work. What up, Cindy?
What up, Cindy?
Being able to leave out of the house for work, especially with the bronchitis shit I was dealing with,
right? And
drive to work with my windows down.
Oh my goodness! Oh my!
Not having to turn on the air or the heat or nothing like that.
Come on, bro.
Just being able to ride with the windows down.
Free thinker. Listen.
Just the little things in life, because I gotta be outside anyway.
Fact.
Just being able to ride with the breeze in the morning. Because again, during those other times, it's too cold to really ride with the windows down.
It is.
In the morning, 9 times out of 10, no matter how hot the midday gets, in the morning when I'm going to work, it's good enough for me to ride with the windows down.
Yes, it is. But before we continue further, let me give a happy birthday shout out to my guy, Free Thinker.
Absolutely.
Happy birthday. Free Thinker is one of our biggest supporters.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Gotta shout him out on the show.
Facts. 100%.
But yeah, man. What we doing today?
Okay. All right, so certain of you may see the title and know exactly what we're about to talk about. Because, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Like, sometimes. It's not always a necessity.
Keep going.
It's not always a necessity. But from time to time, as someone else put it, you may have to appear and demonstrate to individuals. It's a thing that happens. Everybody doesn't always want to do it. Sometimes it's just necessary. Sometimes people don't believe you. And you have to just show up and show out real quick. Something light just to prove your point and then go along with your day. Sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes, though, when you are popping out and showing niggas, it's not a slight thing. Sometimes it's an overwhelming barrage of things that happens in this situation. And we just experienced one of the best versions of an overwhelming barrage in pop culture history.
We got to address that at some point too.
Some of y'all
hating, and some of y'all.
And you know what a funny thing is? I oftentimes, when these big things happen, the things that and when I say big things, I mean the things that tend to be worthy enough for us to make topics for the show. Oftentimes, when I'm doing my research for those, when I'm doing my Twitter research for those things, I see the other side of the argument.
Me too.
Not with this. I've not seen one original other side of the argument. I've seen people reference the other side of the argument.
And I've seen people stretch examples farther than what they actually were to try to make a point that this has happened before.
Right. No, this is never happened.
Y'all hating.
This is unprecedented.
Y'all hating.
We'll get into that. All right. So first of all, if you didn't catch it by now, we're talking about Kendrick Lamar.
We're talking about Kung Fu.
Yeah. First of all, fuck Dr. Dre. Right? See, we don't condone women beaters.
Nah.
But the problem is, life is intricate. His name is going to come up later in a celebratory fashion. And I do not want to forget to make the fact known and bring awareness to it. The facts on the ground are that people are complicated, and someone being a legend in one way, we say this all the time, someone being a legend in one way does not mean that they can't be a piece of shit.
And it does not absolve them of that other shit.
It does not absolve them of anything.
Yeah.
This serves as both me making sure to say this, because in the excitement of things, it's possible that I may have forgotten. So I want to make sure I get it out the way.
Right.
So it serves as that, but it also serves as a disclaimer for anyone for whom his name may trigger something inside of you. Because later on, we are going to talk about him in a celebratory way because of what happened. It's just, it's a fact of what happened.
And also understand, those of you that are triggered behind stuff like that, we're with you. We're with you. We understand. We get it.
Yes.
We get it. However,
100%.
For the context of this show,
this
episode,
it's a little different. Yeah. It's you can't really tell the story without. Yeah. All right. Article: Kendrick Lamar's The Pop Out concert turned hate into love. And that's one of that's one of the elements that cannot be overlooked when we talk about this has never happened. That's one of the elements that cannot be overlooked, but we'll get into that. 6 weeks ago, the Drake and Kendrick Lamar feud felt like it had turned the corner from a fun dream matchup of lyrics and wit to a nasty, joyless fight based on accusations, dark songs, and discomfort. Drake dropped Family Matters, which accused Lamar of domestic violence. Minutes later, Lamar released Meet the Grams, a brooding, hateful track claiming Drake had fathered a secret child. While the move gave Lamar the upper hand in the battle, it felt like we'd all lost some joy that we gained from the prospect of rap's two biggest stars putting out their most driven music to prove who was the best. Less than a day after.
Overjoyed.
Well, listen, again, the different strokes. Less than a day after Meet the Grams hit the internet, Lamar dropped Not Like Us, and everything changed. Let me stop right there. See, again, people want to act like this is hyperbole. Hyperbole. When this article said everything changed, literally, quite literally, everything changed. It's what happened.
And denying a lot of that is probably from two different things. One, you're hating. You on the OV Ho side of things. So this is uncomfortable for you.
Right.
Well, two, you're out of touch and in a bubble. So you don't recognize these events taking place right in front of you as what they are because you're in a bubble, and maybe you have a group of people that are all, and y'all all saying,
dude.
What are you talking about? We see this all the time. Really? We see this all the time. Okay.
Nah. I would, first of all, before we even get to the pop out, the skirmish itself, right? Only once before. Matter of fact, no, that's revisionist history. I was about to say something that's actually not true.
Oh shit.
I was about to say, only once before have we seen people widely considered as the two top hip-hop artists engaged in a beef. However, that's kind of revisionist history because when Jay and Nas was going at it, before that happened, people said Nas was falling off.
Yeah. I think a lot of that narrative, dude, was also it was Jay's masterful way of controlling how people see other people. Because he hadn't released whatever, sure, but I was out there. I don't remember people actually saying it before it was mentioned. Like we may have been thinking it, but I ain't like saying it like that.
Yes, that absolutely contributed to it. But I also feel like it's a part of the downside of how his career went, because when your first album happens to be Illmatic, there are people who are not gonna forgive you if you happen to put out anything that is not above that.
Right.
So I think that's a part of it too. Like, even regardless of how exaggerated it is as far as the
like,
quality.
Right. Because in order to exaggerate it, there's a piece of it there.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is going, hey guys.
Right. Right.
Hey guys. Like,
right.
Look.
Like,
right.
Yes, this album is not quite as good as Illmatic. Oh, it's not as good as Illmatic. Man, that shit was trash. See, like, no, you don't have to take that leap.
But they will.
But they will. They will.
So
the song was the final knockout blow to Drake. And on Juneteenth, when he performed it 5 times to end Wednesday's The Pop Out Ken and Friends show, presented by Amazon Music, turning a track and the moment centered on his disdain for a rival rapper into a moment of unity and love. When it was announced that Lamar would host a concert in the Kia Forum in Inglewood, California, fans immediately began speculating about what Kung Fu Kenny would do at the show. After all, his dissection of Drake had been so strategic, calculated, and relentless that anything was possible. Would he drop a new song? Would he parade out every rapper who's ever dissed Drake? Would there be a release of some new devastating information about Toronto's very own?
Would Pusha T come out?
Yo, nigga. Lamar did none of those things. Instead, he performed his Drake disses interspersed between some of his biggest hits to create a show that rivaled any we've seen in rap and the best rap concert I've ever enjoyed through a TV screen. But don't get it twisted. He started with the Drake stuff, namely opening his set with the full 6-minute version of Euphoria, his first real song in the battle.
I still say the first bars of Euphoria, those first, I don't know if it's 8 bars or whatever of Euphoria, with the mellow music right there, is some of the most dissection.
Oh yeah, no, he was talking to that nigga soul.
Like he was talking to
yeah, he was talking to that nigga soul. Like that's that you might want to fight.
Yeah, nigga talk to you like that
you might want to fight. That's
how you gotta pop out and show niggas.
I mean, nigga, because but yeah, artists usually don't perform rap songs this long. We're gonna talk about that too.
Yeah.
Artists usually don't perform rap songs this long, especially those that are mostly just bars at concerts. And they definitely don't have the audience belting out every word. But Euphoria is different. It's one of the greatest diss tracks ever released and full of lines like, what is it, the braids, that are endlessly quotable. Lamar's breath control during the show allowed him to articulate every line of the song with perfect inflection. And while Euphoria includes an endless barrage of Drake jabs, if you look at the fans as they rapped along, they were screaming out lyrics with pure joy on their faces, because Lamar's concert was about more than a vicious round of attacks on an enemy. It was a celebration. Most of the shows...
I agree with that.
It's a celebration, bitches.
But I still could. The devil on my shoulder is still saying, "Yeah, it was a celebration of hate because we love to hate."
No, listen. One of the things we say the most: 2 things can be true. 2 things can be true, my guy. I mean, most of the show's body was in Lamar's memory lane. He reminded us that he has always had hits and anthem songs like Money Trees and Humble. The former came with a guest appearance from J Rock with the Rest of Black Hippie, Schoolboy Q, and Ab-Soul, jumping in and out of songs for a long-awaited group reunion. Finally, we got a Shock Dr. Dre appearance, which was the show's only blemish. Oh, I'm glad that this article brings that up.
I've seen other articles that also,
I'm going to say something that's going to sound crazy, but because you guys know me, you understand what I mean. You understand that I don't mean it in the worst way possible.
Right.
I've seen people dragging this idea.
Oh, I've seen that too.
And the reason I say dragging is because it kind of makes it seem like these people are divorced from reality. Mm-hmm. It almost seems as if they don't understand how these things work. It's like we don't understand that the people that are famous that actually deal with consequences from their behaviors are generally the ones that do the worst of the worst and repeatedly. Mm-hmm. And somebody of Dre's status, and we only have 3 incidences of
that we know of.
That's what I'm saying.
Sure, his wife might have a different story about some shit. His ex-wife.
It's absolutely possible. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. We don't realize, I guess, that these things take time to sort themselves out if they ever do. Like this is never an immediate thing. Mm-mm. And immediate sounds like an exaggeration because these things that we're talking about happened years ago, but
also a lot of the times, depending on the celebrity's current status, like if they make themselves smaller and you don't see them as much,
absolutely,
shit don't be happening.
Dre is a fucking ghost,
right? The consequences don't
compare Dre and Diddy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now take out the fact that Diddy has so many more accusations, right? Just put that aside real quick. Dre, you don't see or hear from Dre. Mm-mm. The last big thing that you heard or saw Dre from was the Super Bowl, and that was a couple years ago.
Yep.
So
Dre is awareness thing, and from that, what people remember of him is positive nostalgia shit.
Right.
Nostalgia is definitely a mental disease because it'll have you seeing things in a certain light that it really wasn't at the time.
Oh,
and that can be utilized by celebrities who have done dirt as a way of cleaning up their public perception, so that since people don't see them that often, they're not in their face. They're not being reminded of the shitty stuff. Also, one of the biggest things that Dre was known for was beating up D Bonds, which was some pussy ass shit he did.
Mm-hmm. Right? Especially given the idea out of, not to say that all of NWA were gangsters, because clearly
no, all of them are.
We know, but
Ice Cube's not a gangster.
Specifically, Dre was pointed out as not that.
No, he's not. He's not.
And for that to be people may know about Ice Cube, but it wasn't advertised. With Dre, it was advertised. Dre ain't, and for him to be the one who is abusing women.
But the thing that's crazy is that you can also point to it's a lot of dynamics to why it happened the way it did was because of when it did.
Right.
That shit happened during a time when motherfuckers was not really taking women's accusations fucking seriously. And even though there were some respectable statements at the time made about what happened between him and D Bonds, for the most part, the hip hop audience heard about it. It was news, but didn't
might have got a damn or two.
They did not penalize him at all because they looked at it like his rap persona is that he one of them type dudes, so we expect that sort of behavior. It was that sort of toxic acceptance of some shit. We don't live in those times anymore.
Nah.
And people love
and to be clear, when you say we don't live in those times anymore, we're not saying that there are not still people that feel that way. Mm-mm. We're saying that there are more consequences and awareness on these types of things now.
Yeah. People are selective with the know better, do better shit. Mm-hmm. People are very selective with that shit.
Absolutely. Right. Another thing that I feel like these people aren't taking into account, because you can acknowledge something without condoning it.
Right.
We not taking into account personal relationships. This nigga is partially responsible for this man's career.
Yep.
So regardless of how you feel about it, it kind of wouldn't make much sense for him to not get Dre if Dre was available, for what this thing was.
Yeah.
It's fucking stupid, but
Not
it
only
is what
that,
it is.
When you say for what this is, you mean in totality. It's a
Right.
West Coast.
Right.
Dre is Mr. West Coast.
Absolutely.
He's Mr. West Coast. Also, Kung Fu Kenny went when the D-Bond shit happened. So anything else that happened beyond that, the press hasn't caught wind of it yet. So it's not like it's been broadcast all over the place.
Right.
Kenny's not going to have the exact same.
It's not top of mind for him.
Yeah.
It's and then, so on top of the fact that it's not top of mind for him, then on top of that, this is a hero of his. Then on top of that, this is a mentor of his.
Right.
You got to be realistic about some shit.
And
it's not condoning it.
I really wish that everybody lived by your heroes have no power here, but they don't.
No power.
They don't. They don't.
But it's not realistic to believe that they would.
No.
We've been inundated with this idea that there are celebrities should be worshipped as gods forever.
And Loki said it already. You were made to be ruled.
Right.
Already said it.
So back to finally we got a Shock Dr. Dre appearance, which was the show's only blemish, as it's another example of alleged abuses being platformed in moments that are supposed to promote ideas of Black unity. Again, putting all of us, especially Black women, in a place of having to overlook harm to get to the enjoyment. That's Dr. Dre. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. After Dr. Dre exited the stage, it was time for the main event, Not Like Us. When Lamar dropped the song a few weeks ago, I feel like saying it a few weeks ago undermines it. It was over a month ago.
It was over a month ago. Also, I didn't like it when he first dropped it. I heard it and I went.
I didn't like it. I didn't like it when I first heard it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like because and it's a couple reasons for that. One, it's not what I wanted.
Right.
I wanted a lyrical beat.
Right.
That's what I thought he was going to do next.
Yeah.
But when he did, when I heard, I went, "Why you do this one?" And that colored the way I saw it at first.
Yeah.
And then
I opened my eyes.
It grew on you.
Right.
It grew on you. Like, oh, all right. Thanks. Okay, I get it. I'm there now. I see what y'all saying. I'm there now. But at the time, this was the antithesis of what I wanted.
Yeah.
Because again, different generations have different expectations with battles.
Yeah.
I come from the time period where, nah, we ain't partying.
Right.
Nigga, we fighting until the
right.
last round. We fighting.
Thanks.
He partied. He basically danced to that man's grave. He danced to that man's grave.
That's what happened. Euphoria was Lamar as rap's big bag boogeyman. Not Like Us was him as a gentle but dangerous giant, putting the entire West Coast on his back, crushing anything in his way. With one infectious, silly, playful song, Lamar turned the feud into a moment of joy. Yes, the song includes some of the most pointed and ferocious lyrics of the battle. Besides asserting that Drake tried to colonize the Atlanta sound, Lamar also straight up calls him a pedophile. But it's also become something more than a track about Drake. Not Like Us is a rebuke of culture vultures. It's a song about reclaiming Black American culture from people who dive in, glean what they want from it, and try to steal it for themselves. It's a song that evokes pride and joy beyond a simple one-on-one rap squabble. Yes, Drake was the bomb's target, but the shrapnel of Not Like Us can land on anyone within a 5-mile ideological radius. When the song was released, viral clips showed parties full of Black people joyously singing along, dancing, and embracing. Not Like Us became a #1 hit and the song of the summer. Lamar, let me stop right there. Do you understand how crazy that is? Summer started yesterday. This song came out. Lamar understood the cultural impact of the song, so he finished his set with 5 performances of Not Like Us. We're going to get into that too. The first 3 seconds of the first rendition took the roof off the forum as fans erupted, having heard the song they showed up to sing along to, but Lamar stopped after the first verse and he started the song over and was solid. All right, so I guess we talk about it now because it's in the fucking article. So this idea, and I'm about to expand on something that I said to him. this idea, and matter of fact, let's go back.
Yeah.
When we were talking about the battle between the two of them, because of all of the shit that was going on, because of how misinformation works and disinformation works, and because of how what people accept as proof and all this other bullshit, I made the declaration that we should assume everything's true and throw out the shit that we know are lies. The battle ended. We can stop doing that shit.
Yeah.
Why is it that a random anonymous person can say that they did something and people just run with it?
Right.
A random anonymous person claims that he had a bot farm set up for Not Like Us.
Yo.
Now,
what the fuck is wrong?
Here's what I'll say in response to that. If you choose to accept that as proof, cool, right? Here's my rebuttal.
You're an idiot.
No. We're going to do some anecdotal evidence. We're going to do some anecdotal evidence. Kendrick Lamar ten days prior announced a concert that clearly was inspired by the lyrics of that song. Again, for those that for some reason don't understand, and also because I just like saying it, sometimes you got to pop out and show niggas. The concert was called The Pop Out. That's so it's clear that they are connected, right? You have the show happen, and you have it obviously in LA, obviously on the West Coast. Obviously, you have Dre introduce the song.
Obviously.
Everybody loses this shit, right?
Wait a minute. I see dead people.
Right. Like, everybody loses this shit. Everybody goes batshit in the building, right? Then the song starts. Kendrick is rapping it. They are rapping the song word for word with him.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Then it gets to the part, trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. They stretch that shit out for, it seems like, 40 seconds.
It's eternity.
The song stops, right? Kendrick says, again, song starts from the beginning. Kendrick doesn't rap for the first 10 to 12 bars. It is nothing but the audience rapping the song. They get to the A minor part again. Same thing happens. It's elongated. The song stops. Kendrick is walking around. Now, I'm not saying he didn't plan to do this, but I watched the fucking show. He's walking around. He's talking. The crowd is in the uproar. They tell him to play it again. He says, "You sure?" They say yes. Song starts again. This time he gets through the whole song. So that's 3 times. When he's doing this, dancers come on the stage. He performs the song, finishes the song. Again, crowd is rapping every word with him. Mm-hmm. That was number 3. Song stops. DJ Mustard, I think I might have this time confused with the following time, but these things all happen.
Right.
DJ Mustard comes back on stage. Matter of fact, that was this time. I just forgot to say it. DJ Mustard came on stage. They're walking around, and that's when they was like, play it again. And Kendrick was like, "You sure?" So that was when DJ Mustard came on stage. During this time, the dancers come on. Right. Song goes off. They started again. Everybody comes on stage. People from all different type of sets, famous people, not famous people,
Right.
whatever. They're on stage. What up, sis? They're on stage, and again, the crowd is still singing word for word, as well as the people that are on stage, including the famous people that are on stage, are singing the song. He brings more people up. He takes group picture, a couple more pictures, blah, 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 blah. When he talks about how, actually, I'm sorry, before this time that he started it, he says to the crowd, so y'all ain't gonna let nobody disrespect the West Coast, right? They go up. He says, so y'all not gonna let nobody imitate and make fun of our legends. Crowd goes up. Play that shit again. So that was that fourth time. Then he gets everybody on stage, does the group photos, blah, 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 blah. Once he's done with the photographer, play that shit again.
Meanwhile, at this point, there are gang members from various different sets.
Everywhere. Everybody's on stage.
Walking next to
some
somebody
people blood walking, somebody hoover stomping. There's a bunch of shit going on stage, right? That was the end of the concert. What happened after the concert ended? They played the instrumental to, play the, the stream off. The crowd is still singing the fucking song word for word as they are leaving the arena.
Yeah.
The Forum holds, I think, between 17 and 20,000. Mm-hmm. It was a sold out show. The show was sold out within days of it being announced.
Well, yeah.
Right. So let's do a little math and a little extrapolation.
Do a little math hopper.
17,000 people heard that song 6 times back to back to back to back and kept rapping the lyrics every single time it came back on. And you're telling me that he needed bots to make that thing famous, to make it blow up? That doesn't track.
It doesn't track because, one, that shit was already a hit long before you made these accusations. 2, they'd found no evidence that an LLC.
Yeah, no actual evidence. Yeah.
No evidence.
No. Not they found no evidence. They found evidence that LLC doesn't exist.
Yeah, exactly. They found evidence that it doesn't exist. So what happened? Why did that spread? Well, I'll tell you how it spread. It spread because, one, DJ Academics brought this alleged botter on his show and allowed him to spew these accusations with no real proof. Here's the thing, and this is why you got to be careful of the dudes running around here screaming facts.
Right.
That's one of Academics' favorite little phrases. Facts. We're going to have to talk about how some of y'all don't know what a fact is. And in fact, some of you hate the idea of being fact-checked. That's how I know you don't know what a fact is. And we're going to have to, at some point, y'all, address how motherfuckers actually think or what they think evidence-based facts are. Because y'all, that shit be having y'all fucked up. Some of the shit I saw in the comments, and I realize that some of these are stands, right, who are looking for any out to say that Drake won, or this is all a mirage, this isn't really happening. Y'all look crazy as shit right now. Y'all look crazy, and the more y'all drag this poor sport shit y'all doing, the worse it gets. How y'all complaining about Drake hate when they hated on Meek Mills for so long after the battle was even over? And I ain't seen nobody complain about that. Nah, B. Y'all sore losers. You're mad because the Globe, not just people in Los Angeles, but the Globe is saying OV ho. You mad because a lot of y'all put OVO in your motherfucking profiles on Twitter and shit like that, like you part of the clique. You also fucked up the moment y'all got in y'all big age. Because when Drake first came out, y'all was kids. I know this because my son was a kid when Drake first came out. I saw him and his crew, they liked Drake. They come from a different environment than I came from. They come from a different environment than a lot of the older dudes came from. So the same shit they saw for Drake, we didn't see out of him, right? But a lot of y'all grown now. Right. Y'all got to this big age, and somehow you done turned this nigga into Grandmaster Flash. Somehow you done turned this nigga into Cool Herc or some shit. So when you hear somebody critique him on shit that needs to be critiqued, right? You take personal offense to it so badly that y'all going out like this. You know the best way to go out when this is happening? Let these niggas do their thing.
Right.
Let it blow over. Let them do their thing. You'll have a chance. It might take some years, but you'll have a chance. The reason why I know you'll have a chance, because I see this revisionist history happening with Eminem now. The same way I saw revisionist history happening between Nas and Jay-Z. You'll have your chance to taint the narrative and fool motherfuckers that wasn't there at the time to feel the impact. You'll have your chance. Not today. Right? Not today. You just look crazy. You just look crazy. You look crazy. You like poor sports and you look delusional. While all this cheering is going on, while everybody is right, and you with the sour face, you look like the biggest hater alive. Y'all look like bigger haters than Kung Fu Kenny when he said, I hate the way that you talk. Y'all motherfuckers are hating at such a... I've really rarely seen hate to this degree. Like
on both sides.
Yeah, bro. The shit y'all doing, now it's bots. So now you telling us, don't believe our lying eyes and ears about the shit we just seen for the past fucking month.
Facts.
Globally, too. By the way, globally, yo, when you got weathermen, this is for some of you other people that claim to be objective and really not. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing. It ain't really that historical because we done seen rappers take their battle songs and put it in concerts. Did you say it at this level, bro? Did you? Did you really say it at this level? Was it one of the... First of all, you capping because when I asked you to name for me the battles where this took place, you mentioned Jay-Z and Takeover. Let's talk about all of this shit. Was the internet and the platforms on the internet the same then as it is now? No. The level of how that song saturated itself within the public consciousness is almost unprecedented, and definitely unprecedented in hip-hop circles. Like, y'all can play stupid. Y'all can say it wasn't the best lyrics of any battle rap, blah, blah, blah. Do all the shit you want, but you can't deny the impact of that motherfucking song. And I suspect you're more like DJ Academics in the sense that as much as he hated, as much as his face is full of tears, there's clips out there of this guy, of him watching this shit with mad 1 second, the next second dancing along with the song. That's what's going on. That's what's going on.
That was wild. I ain't even gonna hold you. Because you know what the funny thing about that is? I hate to still man him in any way.
Yes.
I think legitimately tries to be unbiased.
Yo, no. You're right now, you're being fair because I watched some of the stuff during the back and forth between Drake and Kendrick. And believe it or not, I know it's hard for people to believe if you know anything about this motherfucker. Ack was trying his best.
He tries.
To be non-biased. He was saying he was trying to call balls and strikes.
Yeah.
Believe me, I know what you're thinking. It's intuitive to think that because he's Drake's biggest fan.
Mm-hmm.
So it's intuitive to think that, but no, for a large portion of that back and forth between them two, Academics was trying to call balls and strikes.
Yes.
He really was trying to do that shit.
Yeah.
So you can shit on him for any other things that you disapprove about
how
there's
talk about women list.
And all of that shit. Yeah, it's a list of it. But in this one regard here, because I was expecting a lot different than that.
Right.
I was expecting a lot different than that.
Right. The nigga was trying to be unbiased. Like I never thought I would be able to say that.
Nah.
But
I thought he was gonna go full on maul on him.
Nigga. All right, so let's get into some of this reaction.
Hold up. We see dead people.
Nigga, because all right. Let me find the beginning. Damn. All right, so no, I'm still not at the beginning. Hold on. God damn, bro.
You must be in the middle, not the beginning.
Nah, I'm not in the middle, but
look, man, sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas.
Apparently. Oh shit, I might have absolutely been at the middle when you said that. I'm sorry, hold on.
See, listen.
All right, okay. We're close to the okay. They showed, funny enough, we were just talking about they showed a clip of Academics in Disbelief seeing Russell Westbrook and DeMar DeRozan, YG, and others dancing on stage with Kendrick Lamar while performing Not Like Us. Here's the set list for anybody that happens to be a Kendrick fan or whatever. Here's the set list. Kendrick did Euphoria, DNA, Element, All Right, Swimming Pools, Money Tree, When, King's Dead, 616 in LA, Collard Greens, That Part, King Kunta, Mad City, Humble, Like That, Still DRE, California Love, Not Like Us, 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 Not Like Us. Kendrick really threw his own hate cella. Called it hate cella. This is the hateration and holleration that Mary J. Blige was talking about.
No, nigga, this is Dave Chappelle's fucking
haters ball.
Bro, this is haters ball, bro. Like what?
Don't let anyone tell you hating is bad. Look at this absolute menace. He looks at peace with the hate, glowing even. I am truly invigorated.
Did you notice, by the way, part of the show, I think it was somewhere near the beginning, when Kung Fu Kenny was out doing this little move like that. He was copying the move Drake was doing.
Oh, yeah. Mickey Facts. And this is a point that I want to belabor. Mickey Facts said, Mickey Facts, writer of Wraith.
You have not listened to Wraith.
Yeah, you might want to go ahead and enlighten yourself. Yeah. You need to check that box off.
Check.
Mickey Facts says performing in a hoodie for an hour. It was more like an hour and a half.
Yes.
In the summer.
Yeah. In California.
It's pure insanity.
Yo, it's psycho.
Kendrick Lamar channeled all the ancestors' powers for Juneteenth. Nigga, listen. This is for the hip hop heads. Nigga. Kendrick Lamar went on stage. Y'all know how fast he raps when he decides to.
Yeah.
Y'all know how intricate just the syllables that he say. Because fuck meaning. We're not talking about meaning. Right now, I'm strictly talking about the sport.
The physical part.
The physical part of the sport. You know how difficult the syllables that he says are to say, to speak. This nigga in full hoodie, shirt, hat, on stage for an hour and like 35 minutes.
Psycho shit.
Rapped with no backing verses.
Yeah.
No water break.
Yeah.
And just spit through his shit. Like,
here's the thing, yo. We see that.
Yeah.
I think people who don't rap or rap in the performance where you got to move around, just I don't think you get it. To give you an example of what the fuck SPJ is talking about, before performances, when I was a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks out from the actual performance, I would take all of my whole set, put it in my headphones, and perform the set while walking at a brisk pace in a neighborhood, especially when I lived in Laurel, that was very hilly. So you going up these hills and shit like that. Because if I can get through my shit walking at a fast pace while walking up these hills for almost 3 miles, the stage is nothing to walk back and forth. But that's how you got to train in order to get your breath control a certain type of way to get up there and do that shit.
And then on top of that, for the most part, because we don't want to exaggerate.
Yes.
We can't exaggerate this enough. He sounded like the tracks.
Yeah.
The parts where he took a breath on the tracks is where he took a breath live.
Yes.
While moving around, while dancing, while rapping.
He's psycho.
This is a masterclass.
He's psycho. Now, yes, were there moments where he let the crowd say the part?
Of course, because that's what you do. Yeah.
Performance, right? But most of those bars, he was just spitting without no backing track. None of that shit. No ad-libbers up there.
Facts.
You know, is
he
fucking.
Didn't, for the most of it, he didn't have a hype man to fill in when he had to take a breath.
But you don't need one when you got 20,000 people.
Nigga.
Know every word.
Bruh.
Every word. Bro, I'm going to tell you what Graydon did once. So when we did that show, Celestial War event, Gray didn't have a hype man. But one of the other artists that opened for the show was sitting in the audience doing every word for word, everything that Graydon was doing. There's, oh no, fuck this. Pulled this nigga up on stage. He was
That's
like,
funny.
Nah, you doing it.
Hey, listen, my guy.
What up, Paul?
So, all right, moving on. If I were Drake, I'd cancel my Amazon Prime membership immediately.
Oh, no. It ain't so.
Somebody put a picture of a to-do list. You know, the ones where you check off where you check off the items on the list.
Stop. Man.
First item on the list, pop out. Second item on the list, show niggas.
Pop out and show niggas.
This Kendrick set list is literally, by the way, I've always hated this nigga. Oh yeah, so I didn't mention that part. So there have been over the years shots taken that are subliminal.
Yeah,
because we talked about this when this shit first started and how niggas wasn't saying names. That changed quickly, but we were talking. we were talking.
That's because he hate the way the nigga sneak this show.
No, anyway, no, that shit changed quick. But we were just talking about when the shit first popped off. We were talking about how in these times, and it's kind of, I'm not saying he the first person to do it, but it was kind of popularized by Jay-Z. This idea of talking about somebody and people know exactly who you're talking about, but you don't say their name.
And hold on. That's an important thing that we should not just gloss over. I'm tell you why people do that. Fame is a funny thing.
Yeah.
Any sort of notoriety is a funny thing. And if you've never had it, you might not understand it. You can, the same way the Flash can lend his speed to another person, you can 100% give somebody a fucking career on your name just from your interactions with them. Because people, if you're popular enough, people will be curious about who the fuck you're talking about and go and check this motherfucker out. And on the off chance that maybe if 100,000 people go and check him out, 30,000 people decide to stay because, hey, I kind of like this. You didn't gave this nigga 30,000 fans. Now,
right.
There's battle, and then there's war. A battle is just a small part of a larger war. You can play just to win the battle, or you can play to win the war.
Yeah.
I prefer the war. That's why when Jay-Z was doing what he was doing for all them years, I got it. I am J-fucking-Z. Everybody knows my name. Very few people know you and your little niche audience over there. The moment I mention you, you're no longer niche anymore. You shoot me, you're famous. I shoot you, I'm brainless.
Right.
Right.
Facts. So to still admit, because like he said, the Settlers kind of is like, nigga, I've always hated you. Because and here's the thing. So I've always said
to tell a nigga, yeah.
I mean, all right, so look. The first song is Euphoria. It's from this battle, so clearly. The second song is DNA. In DNA, he's talking the biggest shit about somebody. Now, I don't believe that was about Drake. I think that was just a song, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem is, right after DNA, he plays Element. I have always thought that song was him talking about Drake. Then he plays All Right, which is one of his biggest hits ever. Of course, you play that. Mm-hmm. Swimming Pools, again, one of his biggest hits ever. Money Trees.
That's why when I hear niggas talk about he didn't have hits, I'd be like,
nah, niggas fucking stupid.
All right.
Money Trees, one of his biggest hits. When was a J-Rock song. This concert.
By the way, that nigga is worth $70 million. So for somebody with no hits,
right. This concert also served as a mini Black Hippie reunion. For those who don't know what Black Hippie is, that is J-Rock, Kendrick Lamar, Ab-Soul, Schoolboy Q. Yeah. The entire point when they all signed to TDE, the purpose was for the group to get over, and it just didn't end up happening like that because of different times in their lives they had to deal with different real life shit.
Often, bro.
Yeah, and it didn't like
develop something for an express purpose, but then the environment around the purpose.
Yeah. Like it wasn't even like this happened to happen, but it wasn't even that Kendrick broke out that stopped it. It was literally real life shit.
Yes.
That was because when the group was formed, Kendrick wasn't the standout. Ab-Soul was the standout.
That's how that worked. Method didn't stand out even.
Right.
Exactly. That wasn't stand out even yet.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So let me see. Then When, like I said, it was a Black Hippie reunion. So When by J-Rock. King's Dead. Just the title. King's Dead. Okay. Then he plays 6-1.
By the way, just for anybody who needed to know this and maybe didn't realize it, Kung Fu Kenny was out there looking and dressing like Adequate. But
that's 1,000 facts.
He
looked exactly like Adequate.
Just like Adequate. But he stole my man's swag. I'm just putting it out there.
Whole swag. Then after King's Dead, 616 in LA. Obviously, that's part of the beef. Mm-hmm. Collard Greens, that part. King Kunta, one of the most controversial lines in that song. A rapper with a ghostwriter. What the fuck happened?
Yeah.
Come on, nigga. Who you think that's about?
This is why people keep saying too. This is a lot of this is for the culture, because there are things that if y'all want this to continue and not fade away into just an ambiguous genre that matches all the other genres, some of the things that make hip hop unique, y'all have to preserve. If y'all refuse, even if it's the lie, what they say in Martin, keep the lie alive.
Next.
Like even if it's a lie, even if it's just people that's running around here that 100% been using ghostwriter shit like that, keep the lie alive, yo, because you're taking away a core element of this that made it special. And if you check everybody else, when I was growing up, I felt like rappers had superpowers.
Yeah.
Niggas can rhyme, do all this some shit. They had these alter egos and shit. And all of them had a specific type of power they could do, type of flow or style or whatever. Like, yo, that's how these niggas look like kung fu masters to me.
Right.
Y'all took a lot of that shit away to make them in a what? Taylor Swift? Y'all gotta look.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta chill, man. Y'all taking away shit that we enjoyed with this shit.
We losing recipes.
You losing recipes.
Next one. Kevin Stady says Kendrick even had the decency to make this at a time that's convenient for East and Central time zones. I mean,
he thought of everything. That reminds me of, I forget which DC character it was, but they were in the Justice League, and Lex Luthor had them out flanked, and he was like, Lex has thought of everything. No, Kenny thought of everything.
Yeah, facts. Frozenberg said, I ain't seen a performance like this since Jadakiss dropped 60 at the Garden on Dipset. I mean, nigga.
Was just crazy.
Somebody said the show said Ken and Friends and niggas upset that the Friends showed up. I hate this app.
Listen,
yo, the shit was absolutely titled Ken and Friends.
Yo, from now on, Kendrick has a lot of surnames and a lot of names now. One of the names I'm giving him, yo, he hot stuff Petty Gilbert, yo. Like that. He hot stuff Petty Gilbert.
And then here comes some idiots that don't understand how concerts work. Here's the thing. What did you think this was going to be? You thought this was going to not be a concert? I'm confused because there are people complaining about up-and-comers getting looks on the show.
You know that happens at concerts.
You know that there's an opening act, and then sometimes there's another opener, right?
My son opened for Method Man and Redman.
Facts.
Like he also opened for the other dude, JPEG Mafia, and performed on stage with JPEG.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yo, up-and-comers get looks all the time.
Absolutely. That's what happens.
What are you talking about?
It's like, so y'all don't know nothing about concerts, so y'all don't know nothing about hip hop.
You stupid.
But it's not even just hip hop because it happens for rock concerts too.
Yes.
Like when we went to see Fall Out Boy and Jimmy Eat World, there was some band I ain't never heard of, never known of, opening for them.
No, when we went to see Nas, there was a band early on that I had never heard of, and they killed it to the point I went home, followed all their pages.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yo, Paul said people are the dumbest experts ever. Facts.
Nigga.
Another one to that point, niggas complaining about the openers ain't never been to a concert in their lives. Facts.
Get out of the basement, touch grass, nigga.
Yo, another thing, Kendrick even added a fucking line to Euphoria.
Yes,
give me Tupac's ring back and I might give you a little respect. That's wild.
First of all,
somebody
even having Tupac, you having.
Here's the thing. You don't help your case about being a colonizer.
Yes.
When you spend your money on all these hip hop artifacts.
So that
what are you doing it for? Right.
Oh, like, didn't we or did we not all watch Black Panther? What was the scene where he was inside the museum?
Mm-hmm.
Did your ancestors pay a fair price for this, or did they take it like they took everything else?
Mm-hmm.
You know, if he'd have sampled that,
nigga, and he could have been the one to do it.
Yeah,
Ryan Coogler wouldn't have had no problem with that. There's a 7-year-old blood walking on my TV screen to a song about one of the biggest artists in the world being a pedophile, and it's being sponsored by Amazon. Yeah, this is like it's a fever dream.
No, it's not. Simulation. Listen,
facts. It's all simulation. Absolutely. You can't convince me any further. Kendrick really united all of LA against one lame ass nigga. This is epic.
Yo, did they have to include the lame ass fight?
Listen. J. Cole dodged a nuke because nigga.
Yeah, he could have definitely caught some of the radiation and shit. Because what I'm gonna say about Drake, Drake fought. He fought.
Did he though?
He robbed
for a limited amount of time. for a limited amount of time.
He was swinging. And
then he gave up.
he got a kick in while other people was writing those rounds, had rap. But no, I'm saying he at least engaged.
No, I get it.
I'm not. I like Cole. I like out of all three of them. I like Cole better than I like all three of them. That ain't the point.
Yeah,
fight.
Yeah.
But I'm biased because I've been rapping for 40 years, so I'm biased. Right. I already know that. I don't expect the average audience, people in the audience, to
somebody put a picture of Drake with a pen and a pad in the caption, "Dear Diary, everyone that does a set on the Pop Out show by Kendrick is not my friend anymore. I'm cheesing, fam."
Yo, Discord is so stupid. Did he know?
Somebody next person. 17,000 plus people gathered together in one place to call Drake a pedophile with Kendrick Lamar. This level of hate will never be duplicated.
Yo, it can't be matched. It's unrealistic. For those running around talking about it, not historical in any way because you think you can find somewhere when Busy B battled fucking Kumo D. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're talking about. Let me just assure you that in none of those raps, none of those rapidy raps of all those other things you're trying to make a similar connection to was a nigga referred to as a pedophile.
Nigga, straight out.
Nor was an entire crowd of people also referring to them, nor was it being broadcast by the biggest retailer in the world.
Yo, you can't compare this to the Sonogram screen. Like this ain't the same thing.
Not the same thing, bro.
It's simply not.
Yo, you know how I saw the Hot 97 green screen thing when Jay did that with Prodigy?
Yeah. I
didn't see it when it happened.
Right.
I saw a clip.
Right.
Because a lot of people didn't see it when the show. It was
live streaming wasn't really. Yeah.
It's not the same, bro. It's not the same.
It's not the same.
And y'all reaching because you got loyalties in a certain direction.
Right.
You're trying to act objective. Nah.
Yo, somebody said, "Don't wear your reading glasses while dissing me." Kendrick 100% had his. No, apparently, Schoolboy Q told him like, "Yo, listen,
you don't want this. Is not.
You don't want none of
Stay away from
you don't want part of this."
Right now, J. Cole, I get it. Right now, J. Cole is in Queens riding his bike and shit, living his life, drinking water and shit. Like that's what he's doing right now. I still see shit for it. Fight, nigga.
I mean, listen, I don't disagree with your point.
And you threw a punch. Like,
listen, I don't disagree with your point. I still stand on mine. J. Cole was right.
Take that punch. Go out on your shit.
I'm not saying J. Cole was righteous. I'm saying J. Cole was correct.
Oh, because it could have been the crowd. It could have. Listen, it 100% could have been the crowd not only insulting the fuck out of Drake, but it could have been insulting his ass as well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Go out on your shield, nigga.
I mean, no. Don't listen to this old nigga. You did the right thing, my guy.
Go out on your shield, nigga.
You made the correct move.
No, he made the bad move.
You lucky. You
made the bad move a year ago.
Thanks, Schoolboy Q.
Shit on features.
Nah, listen.
That was the bad move.
Don't listen to nothing this nigga saying. Thank Schoolboy Q. Yo, send Schoolboy Q an edible arrangement or some shit.
Go out on your shield, you.
Nah. You gonna follow it through. All right, the next person says, not only did Drake try to say Kendrick was not affiliated, he also said he got more love in LA than Kendrick. Yo, that's the part I need everyone to remember.
That was a mistake. Yo, when he said that shit, I went.
There are people saying like they don't think that Kendrick would have gone this far if Drake didn't say that.
Yeah, and he's probably right. But whoever's saying that is probably correct. But because I know when I heard it, I went, so you really don't live on Earth? Because who?
I don't understand where you would get that idea. You went to the fucking. So the story came out. I don't know if anybody knew about the story before, but after this whole thing started, and he started saying this shit. The story came out about that goddamn music video that Drake did with Game,
Right.
and how when at the music video there were things happening around that happened in those areas, and Drake hopped in the car and dipped.
Well,
got the fuck out of Dodge.
One of the things
they had to send somebody after him to bring him back. Like, yo,
he's one
good.
of ours. He's one of, yo, this was Game and Whack 100.
Yeah,
trying to stop Diddy.
Right,
because Diddy was trying to bring him a move
in
Cali, and he got help from Game, Whack 100. When the motherfuckers pulled around. Here's the thing. I'm speaking directly to Drake. You hoe ass nigga. When you around warriors, all of them look mean. All of them look mean. They in war mode or defense mode. They all got the war face on.
Right.
So when they pull up around there, they're not pulling up around there for play, but they coming around here to protect your ass. That's what was happening. Yep. Of course they got the war face. Of course they look mean. Of course they look like killers. They probably were. Yeah. I understand you're not used to being around that shit. So you don't recognize it when you see it because you are busy around this motherfucker cosplaying and shit like you something that you're fucking not. Like we know the type of songs you was doing previously. We know the TV shows and shit you was doing. We already know, we know you don't come from that. So you was scared of shit. But guess what? The warriors that spent that block that came around there, they was coming around there to protect your ass. And you ran because, oh shit, they black and they look mean. Of course they look mean, nigga. These niggas is mean. What are you talking about?
Yes. Yo, somebody said, is it me or does Kendrick look younger? This monumental hating has rejuvenated him.
No, it's the ancestors.
Nigga, they imbued him. Van said, this is devastating in every sense of the word. Absolutely brutal. Like having a party at someone's funeral. Kendrick is carving up a carcass.
Yeah.
Somebody said, I told that man he always rapping like he trying to free the slaves. So Kendrick proceeded to end him on the anniversary of the day the slaves were actually free.
Stop it.
Yo, somebody had a clip of YG and Russell Westbrook dancing to Not Like Us on stage. And it said, the caption said, witness history. This is truly one of the greatest moments I've ever seen. Somebody quote tweeted that and said, a Crip walk hold down is crazy.
You're fucking crazy.
Amazon shareholders, quote, what in tarnations is this gangbanging jigaboo shit? Amazon exec. And then it's that scene from Fast and Furious 3, the one with Tyrese in it, where Brian was walking with Tyrese. Brian out of nowhere was like, don't worry about it, cuz.
By the way, Drake unfriended LeBron.
Yo, Drake unfollowed LeBron. Yo, that's anyway. Somebody said this was LA Avengers Endgame. Somebody quoted that. Somebody quoted that and said, "On your left, cuz."
Yo. So basically, let me see if I get this visual. So Kenny comes out there. He's Cap. Broken shield. It looked like he's faced with a whole crowd beyond just what's in that audience. I'm talking out the world of OVO. It's all OVO. Because remember, they tried to make the comparison to Drake with Thanos. Remember that? Remember they was doing that goofy ass shit? On Thanos. He came out there, broken shield and all. It was like somebody said, hey, yo, on your left. And it was Dre. It was Dre.
Somebody said, fam, Kendrick Lamar has on Nike Shocks, man. What the fuck was Drake even thinking? This isn't a normal human being. I just tried to Google where to buy some Nike Shocks and my phone restarted.
Yo, this is the dumbest shit. Look, people see that they say Kendrick got the Bloods, Crips, Latin Kings, GDs, Vice Lords, Gay Street.
No, the funny thing about that is it's kind of true. Like, no, legitimately, like, there aren't as many rival gangs. There were more sets of gangs, but that's almost true. It was gay niggas on stage. It was Bloods, Crips, Pyrus, different sets, and
was GU. GU should have been out there and maybe
He's
my whole gang, the Easy Lords and shit. We should have been out there.
They'll say nigga ended his hate concert with, by the way. Oh yeah, he said this shit. He literally said this shit. Nigga ended his hate concert with, by the way. It's not even about the beef. Yes, I just wanted to bring LA back together, and then went right back to the diss record and played it over again.
You know how at these big dinners where they had the big roasted pig with the goddamn apple in his mouth up there, and everybody would come around and they would say grace and they would all party and laugh and joke around the roasted pig. It wasn't so much about the roasted pig. It was about
the camaraderie. And that's kind of
roasted pig was straight. The big apple in his mouth.
Yeah, it's kind of. Oh, and here's one of the tweets that references what Palm was talking about. He got everything on that stage: Bloods, Crips, athletes, rappers, singers, women, gay niggas, children, and clowns.
Oh, we're not done. He had Thanos' crew. He had the crew. He had the Rebel Alliance and the Empire. They're all on that motherfucker together. He had Wolverine on that motherfucker right there. Like, everybody, bro. Yeah, everybody.
Yo said, I ain't seen Kendrick Lamar drink any water this entire set. He is psycho with crazy condition.
Because he's a psycho. He's a psycho.
Yo, somebody said Drake. Drake says you aren't really gang affiliated like my friends are. Kendrick brings the LAPD wish list on stage. These are several names that people have been using to refer to this concert. Right. Of course, official, the pop out, but also Gangchella, Gang Teenth, Goon Teenth,
damn,
the Gangaree, Nigga Palooza.
Hold up, in gang.
You stupid. Nigga Palooza. The Blood Bunvention, Hatechella, Kennesaunce. Kennesaunce is wild. Somebody else say LA lost Nip. LA lost Nip, then they lost Kobe less than a year later. It couldn't even celebrate titles by the Lakers and Dodgers because of the pandemic. That city has been waiting to celebrate for a long time, and Buddy did it tonight.
And I really don't want to hear, again, I don't want to hear anybody talking about the Drake hate when they all hated on Meek Mills for months and months and months and months and months. And on top of that, Drake went on social media to hate on Meek Mills, posting memes and shit like that. Kenny ain't get on.
Not even just social media. Like that nigga had his whole concert. He had his concert coming up, and he started early in the day before the concert started. He posted a picture of himself with a free Meek Mill t-shirt on. Then when the concert started, he played back to back several times with fucking memes on the big screen. Like, I don't want to hear shit. I don't want to hear that shit, yo. Yo, somebody said Questlove owes Kendrick a whole long ass apology. I can't argue. I can't argue with that.
Yeah, all these motherfuckers. Hey, and they probably had all these motherfuckers on stage. God damn.
Yo, nigga, everybody was there.
No, I heard he had Fantastic Four, Galactus, and his Hurls. Everybody was.
Michael Harriet says, one more thing.
Anybody listen to the sound of my voice, please, somebody create that image. Create that image of him up on stage. All the Marvel, DC. Like, yo, please.
Michael Harriet said, one more thing. Remember when drive-by spectators who only tangentially consume hip-hop culture but use it as an avatar for how they all see all black men swore this beef would end up in violent, bloody, gang-related tragedy?
No one remembers them. I'll tell you why.
Right.
Because they're going to do exactly like they always do when they jump out on a leap. They're going to hide under a rock and act like they was jamming with Kendrick too. We see you, nigga. We see you.
Somebody says, this is a nice reminder that regional differences are fun. I'm tired of everybody dressing, sounding, and rapping the same.
True.
Can't argue.
No, one thing I loved about it was a certain era in hip hop where which geographic region you came from, we could tell.
Mattered. Yeah, mattered.
Because you had a certain sound that would come out of that. And when I was in the mood to hear some West Coast shit, I knew where to go. If I was in the mood to hear some Midwest shit, I knew where to go. If I was in the mood to hear East Coast shit. Of course, I knew where to go. I'm right over here on the East Coast, right?
Right.
Like the everybody sounding alike shit. y'all, well, most of y'all picked the style I don't like anyway. So
yeah,
all of it was just not. It wasn't good.
Yeah. Yo, somebody said Kendrick got Bloods and Crips saying "after you" while waiting to walk them down the steps off the stage.
Yo, no, a Blood's scarf fell out of his back pocket. A Crip picked it up. Excuse me, sir. Did you drop this?
Yo,
why? Thank you, my good man. Hey, listen. Right now, let's go have a drink because at midnight I'm probably going around shooting at you guys. But
Facts.
right now,
yo, it's funny you said that. Somebody said, just imagine rival gangs taking personal time off from terrorizing each other just to hate you and perform a hate anthem 5 times. And then somebody quote tweeted that and said, this is exactly what Montel Jordan was talking about when he said all the gangbangers forgot about the drive-by. You got to get your groove on. Yo. One thing about Black Twitter,
they never miss.
We're going to get these jokes. We're going to get these jokes off, and they're going to hit.
And then here's the other thing, too. What I love about the West Coast, what I've always loved about the West Coast, is people can say what they want about the violence, the crime. You can find that everywhere around the country.
Yeah.
But when it comes to...
It ain't going to be no outsider.
Outside the West Coast, trying to play, with the whole coast. The whole coast was like, nope, we ain't doing it. Now, East Coast is different because motherfuckers over here are more like their cities.
Right.
I'm from New York, I'm from Baltimore, I'm from this,
Right.
That's so over there, the coast. They're gonna be amongst each other, absolutely.
Sure. Absolutely.
But don't let nobody from the outside try to be from that shit. I respect it.
No.
I've always respected it.
Somebody said the game jumped out the window to defend Drake, and now he's at home watching the show with the rest of us.
I hated that. I hated that for him, yo. I did.
Bruh, with a passion. It's a picture of Kendrick Lamar after everybody came on stage, and the caption says, "If I send this to you, it means me and my homies hate you, and we're celebrating your demise." Punch from TDE, Punch is the president of TDE, said, so after further consideration, I've concluded that they are, in fact, not like us.
Is that what his in-depth research?
Of course, Punch would say that. Like, what the fuck? Lecrae said, kids, you just witnessed hip-hop history.
Not according to some of the haters I've seen.
Because they wildin'. Somebody said Kendrick Lamar presents I Hate Drake the Musical, sponsored by Amazon Music.
Yo. Niggas is wildin', yo.
Somebody else said, this is how you're supposed to treat your enemies. Kick them while they're down and keep kicking them and don't stop kicking.
Yo, I mean, to be quite savage and petty, they're not wrong. Like,
nigga,
the shit I respect. I'm gonna show you the type of shit that I respect. Because if you're gonna beef, right? You're gonna beef. When it gets that, do that. Yeah. But
until opposition is obsolete.
Yeah, I saw something this Friday night that to me almost was the wrestling version of what we saw with Kendrick and Drake. So my man Drew McIntyre talking about he gonna quit because CM Punk once again cost him a chance to do whatever. I'm quitting. Everybody thought that. CM Punk comes out there, has this big night. It's in Chicago. That's a big night. Towards the end of the show, you see Grayson Waller out there talking shit to the DIY dudes. All of a sudden, they hear something on the back garage. And the garage door opens up, and what do you see? You see CM Punk lying in a pool of his own blood. And somebody standing there over top of him. And as the garage door goes up further, you see it's Drew McIntyre. He picks Punk up, carries his punk ass back into the arena. Like, that's what Kendrick did. That's what he did with Drake right there.
Yo, Somebody said undeniably hilarious that Juneteenth is going to be a sensitive subject for the rest of Drake's life.
I would make the argument that it's always
been. Somebody said Kendrick, just like me. I too play Not Like Us 5 times back to back when I listen to it.
Oh my goodness. He's shooting the music video this upcoming week, y'all. So this shit ain't over. This shit ain't over.
Yo, ain't over. Somebody said this is Kendrick tonight. I've never taken the high road, but I tell other people to because then there's more room for me on the low road.
Yes, sir.
Drake mama texting him asking what Juneteenth is.
Nah, that's not the only thing she asked him. She also said to him, "You think maybe it was a bad idea to have me on that song?"
Bruh.
Probably.
Terrible.
Probably.
Y'all cannot ever tell that, quote, people not really listening to Kendrick music in real life lie again.
Huh. Yeah.
I mean,
that's over. I think that's pretty much over.
Yeah.
But I never thought that. Like, even if what
of course you never thought it.
Even if it wasn't my favorite shit.
No, of course you never thought it because you live in reality for the most part.
That's
These niggas is delusional. It doesn't make sense. Like, what are you talking about?
Yo, so all the other rappers that nobody listens to, do they
yo
70 million? Stop
listen,
it,
listen. If nothing else, right? If nothing else, say about it what you will. I have never seen an artist perform at the Super Bowl, who nobody listens to.
Facts. That's
because that doesn't make sense.
It doesn't track.
Just use your common sense.
Right.
Just use your common sense.
Makes no sense.
Now I want to throw a party where me and my homies just hate someone hard as hell. Listen. Drake cannot do this, and that was the point. This is what Dot always wanted to do with his music. Kind of got a point there. I don't imagine, like, and the people that don't understand that statement are kind of the people that we're talking about, and are the people who I can't really take their takes on hip hop seriously. Like, I wouldn't have a genuine conversation with them about this shit because they are the type of people that will respond with, well, Drake's had big concerts before. That's not the point. That's not what's happening here. That's not what we're talking about. And the fact that you need that to be explained to you, or you understand it, or just being disingenuous, I'm sorry. I don't got the energy to even go back and forth with you. Somebody said, oh, no, Geechee Gotti said that boy K-Dot might have had the best performance in the last 30 years. Listen, when you add everything up together, and again, like I said earlier, I don't want to make it seem like we couldn't possibly exaggerate this enough. Like, this legitimately, did you hear that, Tim?
What happened?
Geechee said that boy K-Dot might have had the best performance in the last 30 years. Listen, it's in consideration. It's in consideration. Nope, you can't tell me that this is a flat out lie.
No.
It's no way that you can tell, given everything that when you combine everything, the songs that he played, we talked about the breath control, the no drink, the performing straight out, the no backing vocals for his verses, the intricacy of the syllables that were coming out of his mouth, like all that, you can't.
And not even just that, but there again, these are things that people want to conveniently leave out of the equation.
Yeah.
The impact, the cultural impact,
right,
of what he did, and the timing of everything he did out there that night.
Mm-hmm.
This is the part that only those of us that were here, alive, and conscious and aware of what was happening in the culture.
Yeah.
This is the part we take with us.
Yes.
The kids that are little and did not know nothing about this shit, or the ones that ain't been born yet, when they talk about this, they're only going to talk about it from he had 17 to 20,000 people at the show. He had beefed with such and such. That's it. They won't have the impact of the moment, the energy of the moment.
Right.
This is the shit that's lacked when people who never saw Star Wars, wasn't around in the 70s, when that shit, you know that this is a movie. You know that it was big at some point. You know that it's still carrying on the brand and shit. You weren't there for the way that shit feels in the moment. These are intangibles. This man did this on Juneteenth. A lot of the conversations around this beef between him and is about authenticity.
Authenticity and the Black American experience.
Exactly. These are things that people are conveniently leaving out of this conversation because they are hating objectively. Yeah. Because you can't give an analysis about any of this without including all of these themes that were being bandied about. You literally had a guy that's not from the United States, but cosplays like a United States rapper, which is not entirely a bad thing. And the reason I'm gonna say that is because any genre of music has a dress code. So if you are a rocker that comes from the UK, you're probably wearing the same type of stuff. I'm a rocker. I wear the same. If you're a punk rocker, I wear the same type of whatever, right? So that's not inherently a bad thing, but it is a bad thing when you see this guy before all of this was clearly something else. Trying to be this. That was discussed. The idea that he would say something like, you acting like you're trying to free the slaves. Like that's a bad thing. And also, we weren't slaves. We were enslaved. There's a difference. Stop acting like our history started there. Stop acting like our history started there. It's a lot of shit that was being bandied about here. And then, of course, finally, in the realm of music, hip-hop specifically has a lot of things in it, a lot of themes that come from impoverished areas and the streets. Even though it's grown, it's evolved, you have all kinds of people coming from all types of different environments that engage in hip-hop now. The core of it will always be the streets, and that was the core of poverty during the time of the Bronx, when them fucking buildings up there looked like they had been hollowed out by fucking artillery. That shit was born from up out of that shit. And there's a certain field that should always remain intact here. As much as we can do any kind of other things we want with this shit, that core needs to be respected. And this was addressed in this, because while Kendrick will definitely tell you, we talked about this last week too. Kendrick said, I wasn't out there selling nobody drugs. I wanted to do something, but he come from that area where everybody was doing it. He knows the environment. He knew the people. And LA is a little different.
And I was about to say, more so than general places. Yes. He had to be.
If you're in a blood neighborhood, nigga, you blood affiliated. No, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. So again, there's a lot of aspects of this battle that go beyond just the music. People outside of the paradigm of these conversations that happen within the Black and brown community, if you're outside of that and you never engage or you don't quite understand it, you only see it in their songs. You only see it in the songs. But it's discussions that was happening between these two men in these songs. Well, these 21 men.
You stupid. Shut up.
Whatever the case is, right? There was things being discussed here, ideas that were battling here. These things are what these kids that aren't aware now or weren't born yet and hear about this when they older, they're not going to get any of that.
Nah.
Because it's just going to be about, oh yeah, it was a battle back then. And somebody.
Well, I will say you have those who will pass down the information, right?
What up, GA?
What up? You have people that will pass down the information. Like during the height of this battle, I had a conversation with Aaron. I had a conversation with Aaron because there are certain things that he wasn't aware of and he asked about.
Right.
So Instead of telling him,
it was you.
I sent him videos of other people talking about it.
Yes.
Because don't take my word for it.
But I'm glad it was you. Because one of the things that I'm disgusted with the most is how a lot of those very important elements of what this culture was not passed down in the way that it should have been passed down. So people made assumptions, and then these assumptions became dogma. And now when I hear certain conversations around hip hop, people are saying things about this shit that is the anathema of what this was ever about. And they're saying it matter-of-factly, like, well, this is just, nah, B, that's not what this was. And somebody didn't educate you.
Yeah.
It's not your fault for not being born or alive doing the right, it's not your fault. But somebody didn't educate you.
Somebody didn't educate you. Or where it would be your fault, somebody tried to educate you.
And you poo-pooed it.
And you blew them off, yeah. Right. Yo, somebody said the way the whole crowd yelled, what is it, the braids? Baby, these ain't bots.
These ain't bots.
These ain't bots. Somebody said Amazon globalizing gang activity got me crying.
Yo, that was
there's a point that we're gonna get to about that. Niggas tried to say Kendrick moved to New York and can't come back home, and niggas got half of LA gangs on stage in his hometown showing love. You can't top that.
Yo, who died, yo?
Drake.
No, I mean physically in this battle, who died?
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody the closest thing that happened is somebody got shot at, but that had nothing to do with the battle. That was something else.
So all of you that ran around this motherfucker trying to tell guys like me and SBJ and other motherfuckers who say, yo, we just want to battle. We just want this to battle. Or go back and forth, do some intellectual exercise, spit bars back and forth at each other. This is what hip hop is. It's literally one of the reasons why hip hop became a thing, because it was the alternative to hit motherfuckers over top of the head with garbage can tops and slap out of motherfuckers, right? All we wanted to see was this. All of you that ran around here making these fucking think pieces and trying to fearmonger this shit and trying to turn people like us into something we wasn't, suck a fat one.
Yeah, the people that are being disingenuous about the competition aspect of hip hop is just wild to me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Especially when you got so many people coming on here talking about, oh, if they knew who you were, they wouldn't be saying these things. No, motherfucker, it don't matter who the fuck you are. If you want to say some dumb shit like competition isn't one of the core aspects of hip hop, what are you talking about?
No, you know why they can say that? Because of what I said earlier. Motherfuckers was not educated about this shit, and I put that on a generation before them because y'all was supposed to. This is such a big aspect to huge swaths of the Black community in the United States. Not every part, but in huge like areas and segments of it. Come on, you can't tell. I'm gonna tell you something my wife did. The reason my son is the way he is about hip hop is because my wife made sure to educate him about that shit. Yeah. He was playing her music.
Right.
The same way I was playing my mom's Motown shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's how it's
supposed to be. Them, that's what happens, yo.
Yeah, that's how it's supposed to be. Yo, somebody said Drake got a lot of people to unfollow tonight.
Hey, Drake, hold up. Drake, unfollow me, my guy. Unfollow me.
Somebody simply said, I need people to really grasp that this is a historical, cultural moment for Black Americans.
They won't.
Right. Somebody said performing They Not Like Us 5 times is Heath Ledger's Joker level of iconic and diabolical.
Facts.
All facts.
Yo, it's like, I know that scene in that movie where he played the Joker when he had the little remote control in his hand and was trying to blow up the hospital, and he's walking. He's walking, doing this and doing this. That was on that stage when he left, yo. That was he left. Oh my goodness, bro.
Blah 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 blah. Okay. Maul.
Did he collapse, yo?
Well, first of all, he called the show. Well, okay, I'm gonna get to that.
Okay.
First of all, he called the show the DV concert because he's still butthurt.
All right, Joe. All right. By the way, the person y'all saying he did that to was at the show. But go ahead. But go ahead.
Enjoying and dancing and rapping along.
But go off with the lie. Go off with the lie.
So Mal said he was going to go to the show. Somebody tweeted him and said, Mal, you should have gone to the show. Mal quote tweeted that and said, nah, the stream is enough. Now, what's funny about that is shortly after Mal, that clip came out of Mal saying he was going to go to the show, Punch tweeted, no, you not, nigga. So now the problem with that is, hold up. This is what happens when you talk big shit that you can't back up.
That's it.
And when I say can't back up, I don't mean, please understand, I don't mean like you're writing a cash that your ass can't, writing a check that your ass can't cash. I'm not talking about that. I don't mean necessarily that you talking about beating a nigga ass that you can't beat. No, I'm talking about literally talking big shit that you can't make happen.
Right.
Because when Punch sees that and shoots it out to his Twitter following, you know it's going to go viral. You know it's going to be shared outside of his Twitter following. And now what do you look like?
Like a fucking idiot. And it's still, regardless of anything, you still look like a person. Look, I always tell niggas, don't let your alligator mouth get your hummingbird ass fucked up, yo. Like, all right.
Yo said, I'm going to go to the concert. Punch came out expeditiously and said, nigga, no, you not.
No, nigga, no, you not. You ain't coming, you ain't walking. You ain't walking.
So now your only option is to save face and try to,
the stream
was enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Nigga. And there's the worst part about it is, you might be being genuine. Yeah. You might have never actually had intention on going, but because you wanted to be funny and say that shit on your platform.
Because, he basically said sometimes you got to pop up and show niggas. So that's basically.
But he didn't.
He didn't, though. He didn't.
He absolutely did not.
He definitely showed us something. Just not what he thought, not what he intended on showing. Yo, the bad part about it was, nigga, I don't know what your direct affiliation is with Drake and all of them. Maybe there is something deeper than what I have seen. But what I would say to you is, when you jump out the window as hard as he jumped out of the window, what did you get for that?
Yo, I'm going to tell you what Budden said. Of course, he didn't say anything about Maul because he doesn't talk about Maul these days. But he said it's about Eck. And if what you just intimated is the case, it would apply to Maul too. He said, I understand the investigative journalism that you think you're doing. And in any other context, that would be applauded.
Yeah.
The problem is you have to understand who you are.
That's it.
Because of who you are, when you do this thing, it looks like you're getting information from Drake to try to put out there to put a fire out.
That's exactly what it looked like.
It don't look good coming from you, bro. You can't be the one to say these things.
But this is the reason. This is also the problem with trying to blend journalism with what they call what today is vlogging and shit like that. Because most vloggers, especially successful vloggers, right? They talk a lot. Like they have a lot of content out there with them saying things. And in the midst of trying to just get this content and connect with the audience, you say a lot of personal things about how you really feel about certain shit. Now, if you're smart, you know what to keep tucked and you know what to make public, right? But because he's done this, like a lot of them do this, we know about your biases.
Yeah.
We know who you favor, what side you're going to take. So when you try to do the journalist shit, and to be fair, like we said earlier in the show, if you watch a lot of the early on stuff with the back and forth between Drake and Kendrick, Academics was trying to call balls and strikes. He was trying. Did you know where his loyalty was? Of course you did. He made that clear. But in the process of talking about this, he did at least make the attempt to do that. But no one's going to want to hear it from you because you blended so much of your biases into your fucking content
Yeah.
And we already know what this is. And that's why when you try to do the journalistic thing about I'm exposed, how come you're not exposing Drake?
Right.
There's a lot to expose there. You never did an expose on that.
Yeah.
There are people you interviewed about that.
But that's the big difference between Ack and Maul, because Maul don't even try. Like
no.
That nigga don't even try. Yo, somebody said, and I agree with this, and I'll explain it for the people that don't understand. Birdman not paying Pharrell and Chad for that What Happened to That Boy beat is officially a canon event. Now, so for those that don't know, there was a song back in the day called What Happened to That Boy. It was the Clips and Birdman. It was produced by the Neptunes, which is Pharrell Williams and Chad Hugo. And Birdman never paid for that beat. That started a decades-long feud. What did that feud entail? Well, because Birdman didn't pay, Pharrell and the Clips and Pharrell are a gang, you now have a problem with the Clips.
Yes.
Well, because you have a problem with the Clips, and to be honest, you ain't the greatest rapper.
True.
Your gang is now involved. Who is your gang? Lil Wayne.
Yep.
Then that continues to go on. And now Drake enters the chat. That's where the whole thing between Drake and Pusha T came from.
Yes.
Because of the thing, partially, because of the thing with Drake and Pusha T, and because Drake then developed an issue with Pharrell, here comes Kendrick.
Yeah.
So, in some universe where Birdman paid the Neptunes for that beat, we don't get this.
We don't have And the question I have to ask about that is, Birdman, your first really major deal, they gave you $30 million to start that record company, or put it at least in a certain position. It was an unheard of deal at that time. Unheard of. You've been making money since then. How come you ain't just paid him that?
Right.
It's the same, but maybe it's the same question Lil Wayne could have asked all these years.
I mean, right. Why you ain't paying me?
Why you ain't paying me?
Right.
Why you ain't paying me?
That's the whole thing.
This right here, these are facts.
No, that's facts, Jim.
These are facts. He's looking goofy. These
are
facts. These are facts. These are facts.
Somebody said my favorite thing about all this is that Kendrick just came out and rapped. He didn't play none of the goofy internet games. He didn't flood us with tweets and IG stories. He just did what he does and got busy.
I think that's the part of the authenticity debate of this that everybody's talking about.
Absolutely.
The reality is, of course, the audience is going to do what the audience is going to do. They're going to take whatever is said by either of the combatants and they're going to embellish it. They're going to add extra shit to it and all of that. Kendrick just let the art speak for itself. And by the art, for those who don't understand, it's not just about the music. It's about the album cover. It's about all of these intangibles that go into it. Know what it wasn't about? It wasn't about going on IG. It wasn't about going on Twitter. It wasn't about none of that shit. It wasn't about making a meme and doing all this other crazy shit. It wasn't about that. And to be clear, Drake don't know no other way. Drake and his crew don't know no other way to do that shit. Because when this was happening, one of his peoples posted a picture of him, an old picture of him wearing a shirt with the word revenge on it.
Right. What the fuck do you think? Yeah, whatever. Somebody said, imagine somebody is rapping about you being a pedophile at a rap concert and the crowd is like, encore.
Say it again. You did what with kids? Say it again.
Nigga. Somebody said, you gotta take shit overboard sometimes to prove a point. I mean,
basically just said sometimes you gotta pop out and show.
I mean,
that's what he just said. That's what he just said. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody said no, because imagine thinking you just going to exchange a few diss tracks and your opponent throws a diss concert and has it televised for the world on a premium platform.
Hold up, you had to add the premium part, yo.
Yeah, premium platform, my guy. Like,
you had to
dang. Yo, I noticed this because photographer. But I only saved this one because it's funny that somebody else caught this.
Mm-hmm.
So when Kendrick was doing the group photo thing, this guy says that photographer had the body language of a guy that should have brought the 16 millimeter instead of the 24 for that group photo. Yo, this nigga was continuously backing up, looking, making sure he ain't falling off the stage, backing up a little bit, making sure. I'm like, yo, that is hilarious.
That is definitely a photographer's joke. That's definitely a photographer's joke.
Yo, somebody said, why is Kendrick starting with a Drake diss? And then they put the Dave Chappelle skit part where it says, because fuck him, that's why.
Yo, I'm telling you, yo.
Drake really fixed his mouth to question.
Player haters, yo.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I've come back to time to call you a pedophile.
Drake really fixed his mouth to question Kendrick's LA ties. It was hilarious then. It was hilarious then, but absolutely hysterical now.
Yeah.
Oh, somebody on Drake campaign got to tell him he lost California like it's election night. Yo!
Whoa!
A biracial Canadian G-checking a nigga from Compton was insane to begin with.
Yeah.
I mean...
I agree, GA. That pick is definitely going to be a poster in a lot of people's homes, yo. It is.
Right. Let me see. Shout out to the Drake stands figuring out how to move through this moment. I understand.
They ain't figured it out.
I know, right? I understand. I was a Dipset fan in the building at MSG. Cope, how you
yo, I feel for him, bro.
Right. I hope to never get someone this upset ever in life. Not sure how one is supposed to sleep with wop, 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 wop stuck in their head, but okay, I'll try.
Speaking of that, well, Amazon, you ain't shit. So when he does that, wop, 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 yo, they did an anime camera, different camera.
Nigga, the cuts that happened with that part. Yo, nigga.
Yo, y'all.
Somebody else just simply states, Kendrick got the entire stadium singing his lyrics word for word, and y'all were talking about some bots. Yeah. I wish the culture, the music industry, whoever as a whole, spent more time creating moments like these instead of whatever we be doing on a regular basis. Iconic art and legendary moments to follow. That's it. That's all.
And again, see, this is also a page. Motherfuckers try to use it as a criticism, but it's not. It's showmanship. This is also something that we can learn from wrestling. Mm-hmm. Like, they know how to stage these huge events and have these surprise iconic moments that their fan base will be talking about for generations. How a grandfather will tell his grandson, boy, I was there.
Mm-hmm.
When the Road Warriors threw the Midnight Express off the scaffold at Starrcade. I was there. I watched the whole thing. Like, we need more of those things, those sort of breakout moments in music, especially now, because I'm telling you right now, for those of you that got comfortable with a status quo and music and shit like that, certain shit is starting to crumble. The foundations of a lot of it is crumbling as far as the industry is concerned. And a lot of leaning on these mega corps with big money that they're handing out to all these people, a lot of that's going to go away, bro. I'm telling you, a lot of that's going to go away because certain got Department of Justice looking in the spot of you.
Right.
It's shit that has been happening for years that for whatever reason they deciding to look at a lot of this shit now.
Yeah.
I can't tell you why that's happening. I'm sure somebody got a conspiracy, some motherfucking where about why shit is happening, right? But the reality situation is things ain't the same no more, and things aren't going to go.
Things just ain't the same with gangsters. God damn it. Let me speed run. All right. Can't believe I have to go to work after watching Kendrick make history yesterday. Quest said hip hop was dead because Kendrick went too far, and hating unified all of us last night. The audience calls the tune, not the musicians and the critics. This nigga got Jeff Bezos to broadcast his diss record concert worldwide. Who could have never imagined that it would come to this?
No.
None of the early no way. There were 0 incidents. Hours upon hours together in the sun and not one moment of tension. Every single act, manager, entourage, security, and more, all on one accord, just to make history. Ken and Friends by far one of the best concerts I've ever seen or been a part of.
Can we talk about the other part before you move on? He said people out there and all that, it was hot.
Yes.
This past week, they said that 150 million Americans had to be under over 90-degree weather. 150 million. And of course, we all know the reasons for that. But the fact that it's an old saying I grew up with, even SPJ comes from right under my generation and shit. He's heard the same thing. When they get hot, the first thing is like, yo, niggas gonna wild out. When they get hot, niggas gonna wild out. The fact that all these people packed into this place, waited in line to get in this motherfucker, and then had to leave out. That means cars out of parking
and stayed in the parking lot for a while afterwards.
And now
the party continued. Not a single incident.
So
love it.
You gotta love it on Juneteenth. Come on, bro. But some of y'all gonna hate that. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I always look at you suspect.
Absolutely.
You can't find the joy in seeing a bunch of black people smile.
Black joy is just
right.
It's one of my favorite things, yo.
Suspect, yo. Like,
it's one of my favorite things. Yo, somebody said I called out of work. Sometimes you gotta stay in and show niggas.
Yeah.
Yo, S-class joke.
Yeah.
S-class joke.
Yeah.
Thousands in unison and unity, men dancing together without being self-conscious, just being. Pure joy. This gave me chills. This is what happens when we center us. They could never. We must always. This is the blueprint. This is us. I pray this is a movement, not a moment.
Yo, do you remember when we did that photo shoot at that birthday party? I think it was a family member of yours or some shit.
Yeah.
Remember when we were standing over there by where the buffet and shit was at, and getting camera shit together and all this other shit. And I'm looking out at besides the shitty DJ they had, I'm looking out at all the black people in the room. And remember me saying to you, y'all love to see black people happy. I love to see black people happy. Yo.
Absolutely. Yo, Drake lyrics that didn't age well. Or depending on your perspective, aged incredibly well. I know my funeral won't be lit because of how I treated people. Yikes.
That's
like that guest verse, Euphoria dropping on a Tuesday, 6/16 dropping the following Friday. Meet the Grams dropping 20 minutes after Family Matters, Not Like Us dropping the next day and being the biggest single of 2024. Uniting of all LA for the pop-out, best performance ever in a battle.
What's crazy is when you look back at the way songs were dropping, the most psycho shit that took place was Drake dropping the one track and then and he just coming right. That was that's the equivalent of a motherfucker on your heels. Like you're walking down the street and you notice a motherfucker but doesn't look like he might look like he might be following you, but you might just be going the same place. And then you switch up where you walking at, place where most people aren't going to use this place, and that person is still there. That's exactly what he did there.
That's exactly what it was.
It's like GA said, he walked them down. He walked them down the whole time.
The entire time. Kendrick had Crips and Blood shaking hands, dancing to him, calling Drake a pedophile to an entire audience of screaming fans. There's never been such a complete cultural victory before this. This is Genghis Khan levels of hating. We've all been told how hating someone is just a waste of our time, and Kendrick showed us. We just haven't used the time in the right way. I did find one from the other side. Kendrick not welcomed in Toronto. If that midget ever shows up here, I promise he won't have to worry about raising Dave Free's daughter.
So I'm not going to disrespect the good people of Toronto by saying what I initially was about to say. I'm not going to do that because I realized Toronto's full of a bunch of motherfuckers, not just Drake, right? So I'm not going to insult that, but I will say to you, that nigga grew up in Compton. He's not scared of Toronto.
Right.
I'm telling you, he's not scared of Toronto.
Punch might be the biggest villain of this whole thing. Punch tweeted from the show, yo, the bots in here going crazy. It's madness.
Hey, yo, I'm sitting back thinking about dude saying he come to Toronto. We see sugar. That's like a motherfucker saying, man, you ain't welcome in Palm Springs, yo. Like, yo, when you come up,
stop it.
Beverly Hills, don't come through. Right?
Snoop Dogg officially declares Kendrick Lamar the king of the West following the show.
I thought he already
quote, no, first he said he was next up.
Okay.
Quote, K. Dot, you are the king of the West. That's stuff kings do. They unite.
That's facts. I'm glad you said that because that's actually true. That's a spinoff on what I was saying about leaders and these black men running around talking about they want to be leaders, but you're divisive, dividing the community with some of this dumbass shit y'all posting all the goddamn time. But you want to yell about you leaders. Right. Now, I will say this: kings do a lot of other shit too. They fuck around on their wives. They do.
Well, yeah, absolutely, 1,000%. No. There's bad to it too. You can't fake what Kendrick Lamar did for LA. That's something nobody's ever done. The last time Crips and Bloods were united like this was when Nipsey died. Kendrick did it and got to see it while he was still alive. That's legendary.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. And I think, oh yeah, this is dumb part of one of Drake's fucking missteps during this whole thing on the Tailor-Made freestyle.
Right.
He himself rapped, "Talk about him liking young girls. That's a gift from me." End quote. Which is why I don't understand why the OV hoes are mad that Kendrick actually did that.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? That's what absolutely that's what happened. What do you mean? Why would what?
Yo, the reality is Drake likes young girls, and him saying that he don't really like prove nothing.
No. I don't ever want to be such a huge fan of something that I can't enjoy anything that runs against it.
That's it.
Watching Owls talk about how whack the pop out was is crazy to me. You're missing out on a cultural moment because you liked Marvin's Room. You can like more than one thing.
Yo, well, honestly, like I said, I've seen poor sports before in situations, but this is really egregious. A lot of the shit that I'm saying, y'all look bad. And honestly, it points out the problem with fandom. It points it out. This is a problem with fandom.
Yeah. So the last three parts are one, we already talked about. Kendrick's fiance is there.
Yes.
At the show, dancing and rapping along to the songs as they happen.
So that's another nail in the coffin of the narrative. And this is the thing. If you really, first of all, this motherfucker's funny trying to say that man did what he's claiming he did to his fiance. When at the time when these accusations was made, there was no, and I mean no charges filed at all about anything. Right. It's not even a police report.
Right.
So it's like y'all making shit up back then, and then this nigga.
Well, it was another thing that he misunderstood. This was based off of an incident that happened years ago, where there was a woman who claimed she was assaulted. I don't remember if it was directly by Kendrick or by somebody at TDE.
Right.
And that situation got cleared up. So, because in Family Matters, I think Drake mentions a crisis management team cleaning up that he beat on his girl. Well, the only time that it's been officially proven that a crisis management team got involved on Kendrick's behalf was the situation that I'm talking about.
Yeah,
it had nothing to do with Kendrick's girl. It was a stranger.
That once again, Drake confused something the same way he confused Mr. Morale. Shit and Mr. Morale.
But Kendrick said that fabricating stories on the family front because you heard Mr. Morale. It's poetic.
What was also very telling too, when you're as predictable, when somebody knows your moves and what you're going to do, you need to consider how you got that way.
Trying to calculate, you're not as calculated. I can even predict your angle.
He knew every step of the way what this nigga was going to say, was going to do, and he's prepared for either way you want to go.
Yep.
This can be a lyrical.
If you take it there, I'm taking it further. It's not something you don't want to do.
And then the thing that's crazy is the people that got butthurt when he took it further after he warned this nigga, don't do that. If you do that, you're going to force me to do this.
Right.
In other words, I have a dead man trigger right here. if I get knocked out,
if you push me off my square,
my thumb goes off this trigger and we all go to hell.
Yep.
We all go to hell.
Nigga. The second thing is, who was the first build for this concert? Number one billing as a producer.
Number one
billing? Dave Free.
Yeah.
Dave Free, number one billing for this.
No, isn't that his child's father?
Apparently. And the cherry on top, because of all the tweets talking about Amazon didn't know what they was getting into, and Jeff Bezos looking at this like such and such and such and such and such and such. Well, wild thing about it, the head of Amazon Music for hip hop is in fact from Compton, a home for hip hop live streams. A black man from Compton joined the most ubiquitous brand on earth and brought the culture with him. Tim Henshaw is Amazon Music's head of hip hop and R&B. Yeah. So that's how this came about.
There's so many layers to this that people are going to really be analyzing this for a long time to come. And I kind of hope they do, because I don't. There are a lot of there's a lot of nuance to this battle. There's a lot of lessons that can be learned from this battle too, right? And there's a lot of discussions this battle brought out that need to really be had. Yeah. And I don't really like the idea that years from now, when people think back on this, if it's not chronicled the right way, people are not going to really understand what this was about and just think, oh, it was just a battle between.
No, not quite. That misses the mark on what actually happened.
Yeah. And the themes that were discussed back and forth.
Yeah.
Like I said, there's all these subtle politics that take place between the art and the authenticity of it, and in the Black community,
right?
With the diaspora.
Yeah,
these conversations need to be exactly, Brooks, exactly.
And notice it ain't just. Notice I said we. It's not just me. I'm what the culture feeling.
But see, again, a lot of this, I still put the blame, a lot of the things that we're having these conversations about now and having to have these conversations about, I put the blame on the older generation, because
absolutely,
there was just a lack of stewardship with the culture when it came to teaching the young ones, and then they want to attack the youngins.
Yeah,
you didn't do what the fuck you were supposed to do.
Correct.
Now you want to attack the youngins.
Yeah.
I'm pointing specifically at the people in my generation.
Yeah.
Y'all ran around this motherfucker like a bunch of fucking children. And y'all stayed kids longer than you should have.
You're 37, but you're showing up as a 7-year-old.
You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can just keep quoting Kendrick for everything that
like y'all stayed kids longer than you were supposed to. You had the entitlement of staying young and being like a child. And you felt like all this is mine, all this is mine. Nothing is yours, because you pass all of this on to the next generation coming up. So if you value any of it, teach these youngins why we value it, why it's important. Teach them that. But a lot of you didn't. It's like you didn't take stewardship of it from a business standpoint. So now you got motherfuckers who really have zero interest in the art or the culture of any of this shit, making more money off of it than the people that give a fuck about it. And by the way, the people that give a fuck about it getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller every year.
Right.
This is the fault of motherfuckers from my generation. Because we had this cultural revolution back then, and for some reason we couldn't maintain it, at least in archive mode.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you had been there, if you had been like a young adult in the 90s, you would have felt what it felt like then, right? These kids don't have the privilege of that because they're kids. They had no control over that. We were supposed to put that shit in some sort of bottle, right? Or tomes and pass it like, yo, this is what was happening, B. Like they was trying to get us the fuck out of here. On all these talk shows, when the rave was talk shows, you know, our podcast, the rave now, back then it was these daytime talk shows. They would have rappers, they were trying to get us the fuck out of here. You have politicians seriously trying to get hip-hop the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
This is the backdrop from when you have NWA. When you hear NWA now and you don't have the context of that, it's just a bunch of motherfuckers saying nigga.
Right.
It's just that, right? But when you have the actual context of the times, you see, oh, and even then it was a debate between the more conscious rappers and the street rap, even back then. But if you don't have that context, it's hard for y'all to understand the worth of it. And that's why it's easy for other motherfuckers to impress our kids, our next generation, with money and flashy shit and make that to be the important thing about this shit, because we didn't impress upon them the values and why we value it. This is why we value the fact that you write your own bars. This is why we value that. This is why battles, oh yeah, it's about that. Like, this is why we respect this, because this is what the culture was.
Right.
Remember that Netflix series, To Get Down?
Yep.
That first season. One of the things I loved about that shit was the amount of honor and reverence they put on the founders.
Yeah.
They were almost like these kung fu masters of different disciplines and schools of thought, instead of them just being them old niggas over there that did that back in the day.
Right.
And by the way, their pants was tight. You know what I'm saying? Instead of that, they had that reverence. I wish we could have captured that the way we were supposed to and gave that to y'all. Like, yo, this right here. This defined our generation right here.
Right.
A lot of them didn't do it. And a lot of them older artists now that we do give the respect of who they are and all of that, they was part of the ones not doing it.
Yeah.
They got these big ass checks for the first times in their broke ass life. They got to travel the world, eat good, have sex with women all over the world, smoke weed, and that was enough for them.
Right.
And it wasn't a thought of, yo, look, this shit here is amazing. We need to protect this and make sure that it's still ours. Nope.
Right.
Nope.
And it's hard to look at that from so close up.
Yes, because it's happening so fast. And I get that. But there were some of them that were at least trying to make the attempt. It just wasn't enough of them. Just wasn't enough of them. You know?
Absolutely. Well, actually, let's transition.
So, I don't have much. But you know how SBJ, one of his favorite catchphrases is, you broke it.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the times he says it, I did in fact not break it.
That has to be verified by an outside party, sir.
Listen. It is what it is.
We need peer review on that.
Well, this is one of those rare cases, but he is right. I 100% broke it. So, as I told y'all last week, there is some bullshit going around here with this dumbass cat Superfly. So we've had to make adjustments. Keeps trying to attack the oldest cat in the house and making her last days miserables, and we'll hear none of it. None of it.
Facts.
Because Makiba is an important kitty. She was literally the first cat when me and Yetta got when me and her met.
Right.
That cat has prominence. That's 16 years later. Right?
That
cat has prominence, right? She's old. We're not going to have her for so much longer. But we're not going to let her last days be running from some young, dumbass, upstart cat. It's not happening.
You called him an upstart cat. That's hilarious. Go ahead.
Upstart. So, what we managed to do, now we got to close doors. And this also works for me because when I usually go to bed late, I'm always up late, either writing rhymes or or doing some other shit for the comic book or whatever. Right?
Yes.
Shut up.
Oh, my bad.
Kind of thing. So look, right. I told you how much I hated him being on my motherfucking desk. Hated it. That part is still true. But keeping the doors closed at a certain point of the night actually helps with that. Because I keep him, he stays upstairs. The door's closed. You can't be down here because we don't trust you while we sleep fucking with Makiba. Well, the other day, I got a plate of food, got some drink in hand. I'm about to watch a YouTube video about some of my favorite topics. I'm headed towards the room, and that second door that leads to the second kitchen that then leads off into my bedroom is closed to keep the cat out of that, because that's where Makiba likes to stay. As I come through, I crack the door open a bit. Apparently, his black ass was like, oh shit, the door's about to open.
Thanks.
He comes barreling down the steps, hits me around the ankle kind of part while I'm stepping, which makes me do this a bit. The cup that's in my hand is this. And all this liquid goes into our laser printer.
No!
So I went into full crisis mode. Like,
oh God. Did you put it in rice?
First thing I did was turn that salt bitch on.
Absolutely, nigga.
Ain't that shit out, right? That's the first thing I did. And then I consulted one of my most reliable chatbots and said, yo, find me the manual.
Yeah.
I took a picture of the serial number and all that, the model number and all that shit. And it found it. Bam. Saw how to open it. Now, you can open, there's opening and then there's opening. So with the way the manual tells you to open the shit, you can get kind of in there and all of that, but you can't get in there because that the superstructure of the printer still has these bolts and screws and stuff. They ain't, you're not supposed to fuck with that.
Right.
Right? You're not supposed to. So I didn't, but I did what I could do. And then I took a fan and I put that shit there and sat there. So 24 hours later, we turn it on. Everything seems to be going swimmingly. And then we hear this sound. Tick, 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 tick. I immediately leap on my wife like, it's a bomb. Okay, no, that didn't happen. But
yeah, I'm about to say, nigga, cat.
but we heard this sound. Tried to print some shit. It kept saying, like, I've tried to print 2 pages. First page came out. Second page, it kept saying paper jam in the back. We've had paper jams before, so I'm not thinking, oh, this maybe we still good. I go and check the back, and I don't see any paper jam back there. Then I look at the monitor again, and it says, no, paper jam in the front. Oh, it's the front. Maybe we overlooked it. Looked in the front, there was no paper jam. I looked at it again, it said paper jam in the back. Like, no! And then we smelled it.
Oh.
Yeah. Like burnt cotton candy. And we knew. It's over. Immediately started going to look at replacements. I didn't realize how much we paid for the laser printer.
Yikes.
Yeah. To get one that has the same, features that we wanted to have and all of that, anywhere between $300 and $400, baby. Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. So,
super yikes.
Oh, I broke it.
Oh.
I 100% broke it. Also had a conversation with a longtime friend this week. very encouraging conversation. Hasn't really been doing well, and that's affected his mental state, right? And he gave me a call and was telling me, you know how you had those self-reflection? Let me tell you something. Self-reflection at the 40 is a motherfucker. Right? Because you gotta, it's a lot of shit to address. Right? He did that on his own. Saw the flaws, saw the things he was doing and how he was reacting to those things. And I told him, I was like, and I'm telling you the same thing I told him, I'm gonna tell all of you, especially those of you that are listening to us right now, that I'm rather close with, where we talk all the time and all that other shit. I never count my friends out. I never count my friends out because I know what these motherfuckers are capable of. And I know at any given moment, they're going to pop out and show niggas. You know what I'm saying? They might be going through a rough patch. Knows. They might have fucked up, made a little mistake here, a little mistake there, maybe made a big mistake. But I never count my friends out. Never. Because I know the reason we were friends in the first place. Because they was him or her. They was already him or her. That's why we were friends in the first place. They're just going through a bad time.
Right.
Those of you that are going through a bad time, maybe making some mistakes out here.
Yikes.
Maybe having some temperament issues. If you somebody that I counted as a friend, I don't believe you're going to stay there.
Right.
I believe you're going to work your way through it. And at any given time, you hit me up. Say, yeah, man, I did some self-reflection. But in the meantime and in between time, when I catch you slipping, I'm going to check you. All right? I'm going to check you. I'm going to check you because I don't count you out. You know better than this. You're better than that. So if that friend is watching, let me say this. Nigga, I told you. Nigga, I told you. And that's my week.
All right. All right.
Y'all just noticed that Jason said, sounds like the cat broke it. Nah, I can't do it. Like, listen, I wanted to.
I know you wanted to so badly.
Hey, I had the cup.
I know you so badly. Yeah, you made you swung the death blow.
I did.
Just three things that had happened. Two of them yesterday. Aaron got married yesterday.
What?
Yeah.
You know that.
My son got married yesterday. So he did the courthouse thing, but he had a reception dinner, and that was nice. Everybody that he wanted to be there wasn't able to make it, but he definitely enjoyed himself. I had to talk his mother down from potentially messing up the event for really, really, really invalid reason.
Wow.
And she is a firecracker and absolutely has the potential to have messed up the event.
Oh, shit.
Luckily, if there are two people in the world who she listens to, those people are my mother and myself, and we were both there. So it did not end up going left the way that it assuredly would have otherwise.
Can we shout out for a second the court weddings? Like,
listen,
motherfuckers be trying to talk shit about those.
I ain't mad at it.
I ain't mad at it either.
I ain't mad at it at all, my guy.
That money on the house y'all gonna buy or the
right
shit y'all gonna go on.
It just makes sense, but some
that.
people are about all the pomp and circumstance.
Yeah, I get it. And I ain't gonna hate on y'all. Right. Do your shit, but
right.
motherfuckers that go to the courthouse, I ain't mad at y'all.
At all. It's a very smart move. So on the way to the dinner, Marcus hit the group chat asking about drinking. So we scheduled an impromptu game night here. Nigga. It's always shenanigans and vibes.
Of course.
When my crew gets together. It's always shenanigans and vibes every single time.
Of course.
But there was something in the air last night.
Like on some Phil Collins shit?
Nigga. I done told y'all about the 2 times that niggas was at Fab's house and we just didn't go to sleep. Niggas just stayed up. We ran through it.
Right.
That happened like twice. But I believe this is the first time ever that niggas crashed due to drinking. Like,
wow.
I'm talking about these niggas must have had something on their hearts last night. I know Fab and Marcus did. I don't know if Tiffany did, but I know both Fab been going through some shit recently, and Marcus, his life is a perpetual cycle of going through some shit.
Right.
So this was the first time though that Marcus got so bad that we had to physically stop him from leaving. Like we had to stop. Like, nigga, where the fuck you think you going? Right. Like he gets up, he puts his hat on and grabs his bags and shit. Fab, yo, this is the slickest shit I've ever seen. And it's funny because Fab was also drunk.
Right. Fab
gives him a hug and just doesn't let him go. Which gave me enough time to get up, go in there, snatch this nigga bags and his hat, and walk back in the other room. No, nigga, you're not going nowhere. The fuck you think you're talking about? Like,
hold up. Sometimes you gotta pop out show nigga.
Listen, fuck you think you? I don't know what the fuck you think this is. Like, yes, you're the oldest person in the room.
That matters.
Absolutely, not. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're not going anywhere like this.
And if we got to clothesline you or hit you with the 3D to keep your ass,
nigga, hey,
it is what it is.
Me and Fab known for throwing the 3D every now and then. So yeah, and of course he didn't fight. He just, he expressed his desire to go home. But
did he do what my brother did, Joe? Was drunk and was talking, I want to go home.
Well, he was basically. So the thing is, when Marcus gets drunk, to a certain level, generally what works best for him is sleeping on a cold, not necessarily cold, sleeping on a hard floor, like a flat surface, because it stops the room from spinning him for some reason. Like when he's on when he's on a bed,
it tracks.
Yeah, when he's on a bed, it just doesn't work. That doesn't work. He has to literally sleep on the floor.
On a cloud.
Yeah. It's like, so it was really, he needed to sleep it off a little bit. That's really, and we told him like,
but I don't think it's like, he wanted to go home.
Yeah, no, we that didn't matter. We shut that shit down. And it was like, bruh, you're not going nowhere. You can leave at 4. If you, let me be clear. That's when I say niggas crashed out due to drinking. What I mean is, again, in those other 2 circumstances, we were up the entire night.
Right.
We did not go to, like the one time I went over there like 6 something. I left his house in time to get to my apartment to do the show.
Right.
Like, no, by like 2, which is the time that that karaoke usually ends. So like by 2, these niggas was done.
Damn it.
Like done. Like to the point that Fab and Tiffany had already was like, I'm not driving. Like, and we were like, no, you're not. Yes, nigga, you're gonna crash here. We got enough space for everybody to be able to crash. Like I said, Mark was the only person that was still thinking that they were going to drive home, but we quickly disabused him of that idea. Like I said, he didn't fight or anything. I took his bag, took his hat. He came back in the room. He just laid down. What up, McKenna?
What up, McKenna?
He just laid down on the floor, got under the cover. I'm like, you need a pillow? No, I don't need a pillow. I'm not staying here. I tossed him the pillow. Look, I tossed him the pillow. He put the pillow right under his head, laid the fuck down.
Yo, Cindy just sent me this goddamn screenshot of her weather down. Yo, this is
no.
97 degrees, real feel 110. God,
flag on the play. I don't want no parts of that shit. I mean, it's going to hit 100 here this weekend.
It is,
but
I still take it over snow. I'm not shoveling.
Oh no, nigga, 1,000%.
I'm not shoveling snow. We're not doing that.
Yeah. But also, everybody had something to do today. Generally, that's not the case.
Yeah.
So, but a good time was had by all. But nigga, this upcoming trip is about to be a problem.
Wow.
Because we ain't never done that before.
You'll do it now.
And now we about to be on a trip.
You'll never do it again?
Nigga. It would be an interesting statement to say that that's the case. Mm-hmm. However, I don't believe that's what, because niggas gonna be on vacation. We know we ain't gotta drive nowhere.
Hold up, you saying you ain't got no job?
Hey, listen. Last thing.
Gonna get you high today, man.
Last thing, fucking work. My guy. I ain't had nothing to complain about for real at work for a while.
I believe you. Oh, you did today. Oh, damn.
Anyway, so I think I mentioned before that for our printers at my job, we have these big multi-function printer copier fax scan combo machines. As a rule of thumb, we lease them. In fact, actually, I think at this point, all of them are probably leased. Mm-hmm. We lease them from a company that does tech things. Forgive me for not giving the most technical details about what they do. I won't give the company's name, but let's just say their name is supposed to invoke a good feeling about the work that they do, and the work that they do, their service is the exact opposite. I'll just say that.
Damn.
It's clearly false advertisement. So how the process is supposed to work when we get new copiers is someone puts an order in, they get confirmation, and they forward the confirmation to my department. The person who ordered it then tells the company to tell us when they are going to come out to deliver the new copier. That info then gets forwarded to me so I can try to be there on location when the copier is delivered. Now, I know I've gone over this before. It should be smooth sailing at this point since we've been using the same company since I have been doing this job, which is well over a decade. But no. There are times where nobody tells me when a copier is coming.
Hold up.
Then oftentimes,
did somebody break the copy?
No, they was just old. Oh, so they need to be replaced.
Oh, okay.
A lot of that happens. A lot of that happens. Right. So there are times when nobody even tells me that that a copier is supposed to be coming, and then there are times when they tell me that one's supposed to be coming, but they never tell me when. And then more so, there are times when we just deal with somebody obnoxious that doesn't like fucking listening. This was the latter. Now I know I've made this plea before, and I know it won't hold this time either, but please, if you work for a company that provides any type of IT tech services, please, when you are dealing with another company, defer to the person in that company who does their everyday IT.
Nigga, that's about that. Listen, that's about as liable what happened as Addy with people telling people.
Absolutely. This should actually be common sense. But as I learned going to the high school that I went to, which was one of the best in the country at the time, being smart and having common sense often do not go hand in hand. So, the copier was scheduled to be installed at one of the West Side properties at 10 a.m. That was a stupid time for me because I go out into the field at 11. Mind you, again, all three of these situations, everything I've talked about happened yesterday. So literally before yesterday, I had nothing to write down about my week. But anyway, this 10 a.m. was a stupid time for me because I go out to the field at 11. Times when I have to be somewhere before I usually leave, I tend to just switch my day around and start out in the field and end in the main office. But yesterday wasn't an option because I had to go to Aaron's dinner right after work.
Right.
So I called that location where the copier was supposed to be delivered, and I told them that I would be out there as soon as I could, and that they would probably, the people would probably get there before me, but I will be there. That was at like 10:05. I was going to try to leave around 10:30, and traffic permitting, I would be there in about 12 minutes or so. But at like 10:20, my phone rings. The manager at that location is calling me because the guy with the copier is there, and he's asking for my supervisor, who's not my supervisor. Now, I know why he's asking for her. He has only dealt with her so far. He has never dealt with me to this point, so he didn't know I existed. He just knew that she was IT. So I know that's why he was asking for her. So I tell the manager, she's not in. She's not in today, and that I can handle the issue. The guy gets on the phone with me, and this is where shit just goes downhill. He says, hey, so I just did an install in the downtown office last week, and my supervisor, who's not my supervisor, helped me with setting the reservations for the transfer to the new copier. So I said to him, we do not have a domain at the rental offices. So there's no such thing as reserving anything. We're good on that, and you don't have to do nothing complicated with that. You just got to switch the IP over from the old machine to the new machine. He says, oh, okay. Well, is there anything on these computers that won't allow me to do what I have to do? I say to him, no. What do you think you have to do? He says, I have to put the new drivers on the PCs. I said, you do not. We use the universal driver. He says, well, the universal driver doesn't have access to this and that and this and that. I said, that's perfectly fine. We use the universal driver out in the field because of a certain software incompatibility issue. So that is why we use the universal driver.
Right.
He says, well, you need the new drivers to do such and such and this and such and that.
Did he try to tell you?
Yes.
Your job as IT at a place?
Yep.
Okay. I just want
to. You need new drivers to do this and that and this. And I say we use the universal driver for every single copier that we have throughout the company at our rental offices. They all work just fine. All you need to do is transfer the stuff from the old copier to the new one. At this point, he says, okay, but I can tell he has an attitude. He has the phone back to the manager. Manager asked me if we're good to go. I say yes. I hang the phone up. I start to finish up what I have to finish up so that I can head out there. 3 minutes later, somebody comes up the steps. Oh, James, you're still here. The manager has the company at the location trying to install the copier. They said they need to talk to my supervisor, who's not my supervisor. I say, oh, yeah, I just got off the phone with them not too long ago. Wait, are you saying they just called you? She says, yes, I just got off the phone with them not too long ago. She says, obviously, my supervisor's not my supervisor, isn't here. What happened when you were talking to them? I said, I told them what they need to do. He didn't like that answer. So he's trying to get another answer from someone else.
Yeah.
My boss overhears this conversation and comes out of her office. Now she's aware, she's already aware of how this and this other company does things. So she already knows. And the other person that came up to tell me, she didn't know anything about, she only knew what she was told.
Right.
So my boss tells me, nah, go ahead and call them back. And if they don't listen to you this time, they just going to have to come back another time. I said, okay. I called back. Now, I get him back on the phone. He swears me up and down that he needs the administrative password because the copier was installed by MAC address and he needs to get into the settings in order to install the new one and blah, blah, blah. Now, I was 10,000% sure that he was wrong.
Okay, but to be clear, this is what you do?
Literally, I am the one who set this up in the first place. Anyway, I was 10,000% sure that he was wrong, but I wasn't going to go back and forth with him any more than I had to.
Right.
So what I did was, I'm like, what computer are you on? He told me he was on the manager's computer. I said, okay, I want you to go into the main part of the office and go to the computer that is closest to the window. He said, okay. I said, there's an account that is set up just specifically for the copiers. I gave him that account and the password to that account. He says the password doesn't work. I said to him, are you on the computer I just told you to be on? He said, I'm on the computer in the manager's office. My boss overheard this, bust out laughing, and walked away. Because I just told you to get your ass up and move to a different computer.
Yeah.
So I got him to the point of installing, him saying he was installing the copier on the manager's computer. He started asking more questions. I told him not to worry about any of the other PCs and that I would take care of them.
Right.
Turns out he hadn't even brought the copier in yet. So he's like, all right, we got to bring the copier in and we got to transfer everything over. This process should only take like 10 minutes and I'll call you back when that process is finished. I said, okay. I get there 30 minutes later. 30 minutes later. I walk through the door. He looks up and sees me.
What he say?
He has seen me before. I just hadn't worked directly with him before.
Right.
So when he saw me, he recognized me. And he says, oh, we're actually done. More things that he said to me before he left. We actually didn't have to change anything on the PCs. It just worked.
Oh, jeez.
If only someone would have told you that.
Wait a minute. This just in. Someone did.
Okay. Another thing he said. I've never seen this just work like this.
Okay. I'm going to need you to take a stadium of seats.
I sat down at the computer that he was at that he swore up and down was added to the copier via MAC address. It was not, because again, I added that copier to that PC.
Right.
And I'm sitting there, he's like, I was so surprised that it just worked. I said, because as I told you, it's not connected via MAC address.
I think I'm mad at him mostly because he gave you an opportunity to utilize the infamous
I informed you thusly. I told you.
Really,
you not understanding something does not equal it not being true. I understand that you work on copiers. I know you work for the company. I get it.
But Nike.
But this is our shit.
He said to you, Nike. Nigga, I know everything. So it's got to be something Nike.
And my favorite thing that he said to me before he left. Oh, we actually didn't need you here. Now,
you don't get.
I was scheduled to go there. I was scheduled to go there anyway, so that didn't. But I told you. I told you what I needed from you
from the jump, like literally from the door.
Like, I need you to transfer the IP address that we have this copier set as to the new copier.
So annoying.
That's all I need you to do.
So annoying.
Everything else will just work. And then I will come and do the cleanup that is necessary. Not even necessary. The housekeeping that is customary.
Yeah.
Because technically, if I had just left it how it was, everything would work and run smoothly. But just partially for the reason that happened, So if somebody looks at it, they won't be confused. There's a little housekeeping, tidying up that has to happen.
Right.
But
that's just
you aren't needed for that.
He wasn't needed at all.
No. Go in there. Get your little hand cart motorized thingy. Bring the new copier in. Transfer the shit over. Take the old copier out.
Right.
That's it. Yes, Jason. The fucking the copiers. So when I connect the copiers to the computers, I literally go into the Windows setting, add printer, search for printer by IP address. The IP address that I've made static on the copier already. Since they are connected to the same network, when I put search by IP address and I put the IP address into the fucking computer, it finds the copier. It is a universal driver that we use because there's one, maybe two pieces of software that we use that is incompatible with their newer drivers for some reason.
But you don't understand, SBJ, because
he kept asking, "Oh, do you want the new drivers?" No, I just want you to go away.
Yeah,
get out of my face. Stop trying to be nice to me right now. Leave me be. You sure you don't need the new drivers? I'm positive. And if I need them, I know how to get them.
In your ass?
Like, bro, what are we talking about? What are we talking about? Like, if I end up needing them, I know how to acquire them. We don't need you. We don't need you anymore. Literally, you've done your job.
And figuratively.
Right. Your job, your one job. Get the new copier in here, transfer the shit from the old copier, get the old copier out.
You
didn't have to touch a computer.
Yeah, one job.
Right. You did not have to touch a computer. Not a single computer. Everything was just fine without you. Oh, well, you can't such and such and such and such without the new drivers. We don't need to.
To quote,
it's not a function that we use.
To quote an old supervisor from an old job, first of all, you don't tell me shit. you don't tell. Shout out
it's
to
like, bro, shut the fuck up.
Alive, yo. I swear I hope Gerald's still alive. Shout out to Gerald. You don't tell me shit.
It's like, bro, just shut the fuck up and leave me alone.
Yeah, leave me be.
I have been doing this for 15 years. Like, what are you? I've been doing this for 15 years. I know how this works. You know a way that this could potentially work. I know the way that we do it here.
Right.
And the fact that you don't understand that is the issue that I'm having. And is
eminently more qualified to speak on how we
how we do shit here.
Yeah.
You might know more than me about networking and all that other shit. It's possible. You could. However, we're talking about this specific thing that I have infinitely more experience in than you do.
And sometimes you gotta bow down to the. See, my issue it's still an ongoing thing. Y'all niggas really got expertise be fucking you niggas up.
Bruh.
It really be y'all so salty about the fact that somebody actually studied and put in the practical, actual hands-on experience and work for years and can actually tell you some shit that you're wrong about. Like, personally, me, I appreciate you experts that do shit that I don't do because I don't want to have to worry about it, and I don't want it renting space up here for everything.
Very simple.
Other shit that I need to be thinking about, and not that. The fact that the motherfucker is lettered in this very thing right here. Nah, I'm good with it. How does work again? I'll handle that. You got it.
Very simple. And I just don't understand. Like, you aren't needed, and he tried to play that off like because there's this software I told y'all about it before. There's a software that they try to get us to put on the computers every time that they put a new copy out there that we don't want because it gives them more access to our network than we would like them to have.
Yes.
And he tries to play it off like, oh, it's really helping me if you don't get it because that's less work that I have to do. Ha 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 ha. But continues to ask me if I want him to install.
Hardy har. It is too late.
Leave me the fuck alone.
Fuck out of here. Yeah.
Leave me alone. Just go away. Let me sign what I gotta sign so you can leave.
And you already annoyed, so all of this little happy talk, band,
Right.
this nothing talk is really.
Had this second half of it happened without the first half, I would be much less annoyed.
Much less annoyed and more
because I understand he's just doing his job.
Yes. But I'm not saying
for you to incorrect me the way that you did. And the amount of different times that you did.
Stop trying to incorrect me, man.
Like, bruh, I know you don't know exactly who I am. That's cool.
Yeah,
however,
this is one of the cases where you gotta pop out and show niggas. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the cases right here. This is a blatant case. You pop out and show
all I'm saying is my company and your company has had a relationship for years. At least professional courtesy.
Yeah, professional courtesy, true.
Yeah, like understand that my company isn't going to send somebody to take care of the shit that has no idea what the fuck is going on. I got a little knowledge in this thing. I've been doing it for a little while.
A little bit.
I know what I'm doing a little bit. Like, we cool. The only time that we ever really have to call you for anything with these copiers is if the shit breaks. Why? Because I've dealt with these motherfuckers long enough to know how they work, to know how to troubleshoot them.
Respect my gangster. That's all. Respect my gangster. That's all. That ain't asking too much.
Bro. Like
on some jazz the rapper shit. I does this. Like
I does this.
Like when you talking.
That's it.
That's annoying. We want to thank all of you for joining us for another rousing edition of the Black Culture Geeks podcast, aka the Saturday Morning Cartoon Block.
Yep.
Your continued participation is what helps us to continue to do this show. Be aware, there is always
and forever
music.
Yeah.
Ass. So ass. Like I wish I could say that it wasn't.
Nah, this is better.
But it's always.
It's better this way.
You've changed things. Listen,
not like this.
Not like this. Like there's always music. Be it old music, being upcoming music. So check us out on that shithole site, Spotify and iTunes, as they continue to rob us for every stream. Let's hope things get better in that regard.
Right.
Go check it out.
Currently being sued.
And looked at real greasily.
Actually, both companies are currently being sued.
Both companies are being, yes. Both. And it's a good day. It might be a good day. We'll see.
Might be.
They might raise us up to a whole 10 cents.
Maybe. I don't know what I would do myself.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, go check that out. Go check out my man Graydon Music. Hey, speaking of which, go check out my man GA's music as well. Go check out my man MC Brooks' music. Both of them popped into the chat. Go check their shit out as well. And also, don't forget to check out my sister, his significant other, Chrissy's podcast. Heard it through the grapevine.
Yeah.
Very funny. This is probably one of the only podcasts that I'm usually first. So.
Right. No, you're not. You're not. No. You're not. That's not what happens. I just get tired of making the joke. That's what happens often.
First.
But both of their significant others show up before you do. I promise you.
Listen, first.
Okay. All right.
Also, don't forget to check out my man Super Side Guy with Metas and Mutants, along with co-host Hendrick. Hendog might as well be multi.
Yeah.
He might as well be multi entertainment.
Yes, you said definitely not first team.
This is Cap. Next time y'all come on there and watch. So sometimes you just gotta pop out.
No, nigga. Oh god.
But anyway, for my man SPJ, Tombstone the Dead Man, and for the greater multi-world entertainment family, and courtesy of Majestic Comics, we are out.